What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talking Watches with the Cardinal. Thank you all for joining me. Appreciate everybody joining the show tonight. I am going to be talking about a genre of watches that are quickly becoming my favorite watches, and those are chronographs. I wanted to go into the history of chronographs, a little bit about why they're quickly becoming my favorite complication, and of course, talk shenanigans with the crew, with the community, as we call them. But before we begin, of course, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the people who were in before the stream started. We got Perth Luxury joining the show. Worried that I might sell the Bruce Wayne, but of course I would never sell the Bruce Wayne. We got Peruka, the wristwatch Jesus, joining us. Perth Luxury reminding everybody to upvote. Thank you very much. We got Cars and Chrono saying chronographs second only to Equation of Time. May have to change my name to Cars and Equation. I don't think so, man. I got to tell you, there's only one thing that matches cars, and that's chronographs. Equation of Time got too much going on, man. How are you going to read all those complications while driving? It's not a good fit. Not a good fit. We got Mossy joining us. We got Watches Global Level 1. We got Quicker Than Drawing. We got Woody Jag, Daniel Katz. A lot of familiar faces. Wings and Watches. We got Bear Clooney Watches. We got The Real Cars and Chrono. Thank you very much. We got Small Gee. We got Will. We got Ultra Lux. Danger Will Robinson. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to drop the link if anybody would like to join. But of course, you can feel free to join the show. I'd be happy to have you on. Mossy saying, when you speak to Nico, ask him, did he get my request to sell him a hue below? Well, that's a great question. I definitely will. Jimmy up in the house saying he also upvoted. Thank you very much. So in terms of chronographs, why are they important? Well, if we could look back in history, right, we're talking the 30s, 40s, when wristwatches, at least chronographs, started to become produced in sequence more and more. Who owned these kind of watches? And it was really the elite of societies. I mean, we're talking doctors, politicians, really the most important people, and those at the highest level of social order, of social classes. And so chronographs have always been a very prestigious complication in that regard. And by modern standards, we're very blessed and fortunate to have, a litany of chronographs that are serially produced that allow us to, of course, buy them at rather or reasonable or more affordable prices. But in my opinion, I think that modern chronographs suffer from a couple things. And one is, of course, the case. The thickness of that case oftentimes is just too much. It's unbearable. Sometimes they're just too busy. Somebody just message saying this in. We got Bear Clooney saying chronographs stress me out. I don't blame you, but sometimes they are definitely, just a little bit too busy. We got Wings and Watches joining us. How are you, my man? Oh, you have muted yourself, but all good whenever you're good. We got Phil Marceau strapped in.
Yeah, brother. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're all good. What's your favorite chronograph? 5980 for me. That's a good one. I mean, the 5980, let me pull that up for the people who don't know what that is. It's, of course, the Nautilus chrono, probably in full rose gold is what I would anticipate, although the blue one with the steel case and brace is also nice. Personally, for me, I think most people know that my favorite chrono is the Vacheron Constantin. It's just my favorite because of those lugs. The lugs just really make that watch. 2-register chrono with the Lemania 2310 movement, which is known as the 321, obviously used in the Patek 5070. A bunch of other watches like the Breguet chronographs, the Roger Dubuis homage chronograph. But I just love those lugs are really what make it, to be honest with you. And of course, I love the manual wind 2-register kind of format of the watch itself. Wings and Watches, you got a favorite chronograph? I think I have an idea of what it might be.
Yeah, it's going to be the Speedmaster.
The Speedmaster, right? Yeah. That's what I figured. Yeah, I had an idea. We got the real Cars and Chrono with the longer double split. I mean, yeah, I got to tell you that's not a bad one. That's definitely not a bad one. We got Ultra Lux saying, I just bought a classic Fortis Chrono Flieger. I mean, Fortis has got good history, but I don't know if I really would ever recommend a chronograph or a watch, frankly speaking, from Fortis. What do you think? What's your take on Fortis? I know that they're making a watch that's going to Mars and what have you, but
to be honest with you, Marco, I haven't really been exposed to Fortis quite often, so my knowledge is very limited to it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, they're a little bit overpriced for what you get. Just my personal opinion. It's also a great comment from Peruka saying even better Monopusher split chronos. Yeah, there's a lot of really great Monopusher chronographs out there. Cartier did one that's not a split second though. It's the Cartier Monopusher. This was a collaboration between three watchmakers: Denis Flageolet, F.P. Journe, and Vianney Halter. So this is really, really spectacular. But I think, to be honest, the best Monopusher is the Langenheim. I don't even remember the name, but they did this Monopusher split second chrono. This is the one, the Albert as it's known. The movement of this is really spectacular. As a split second Monopusher chronograph is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great use of the case back again. Yeah, this one's incredible.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of almost of like a pocket watch case in movement. Like they repurpose like a pocket watch into a wristwatch. It's kind of what the design reminds me of. For some, it might be like, not a very nice design. Maybe they hate it, but I think this is really gorgeous.
Like there's a couple micro brands I think that are in the United States that repurpose pocket watches into actual wristwatches, and it's exactly like something you would find. You're right.
And we got the wristwatch Jesus himself joining us. How are you, my man?
How are you?
Any Monopusher split chronos that stand out in particular for you?
So it's not Monopusher. It's not Monopusher, but it's the the new Vacheron historique.
The Patrimony split second. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, let me
there's Woody Jack who told me to come on, so
here I am. Sure, of course.
Sorry,
you're always welcome on.
I'm a bit exhausted. We did like 3.5 hour stream with Tim.
Yeah, you guys are. I don't know how you do it that long of a stream. To be honest, this is
look at this.
That one's gorgeous. That's probably my favorite Vacheron.
Give me that.
The movement on this is spectacular.
What the rotor is.
Wow. Look at that.
I mean, can you imagine individually polishing just the column wheels, like the Maltese cross and the column? Like that must be such a pain in the ass. No offense, but oh man.
Yeah, but also another one of my favorites is the Corne de Vache. Me too. I adore that watch, but actually the one I prefer is the yellow gold with the blue markings.
That's a nice one also.
It's not something you see often, yellow gold with blue markings. I think it's really nice. Really good.
Right, 100%.
It's too expensive though.
Yeah, only problem. Here's another good one is Bear Clooney said Lange Sohne did some Monopushers that are beautiful. Lange Sohne makes a lot of really nice chronos, in my opinion. To me, my favorite is there's a couple. I like the Big Eye chronograph, especially with the blue dial. I'm a big fan of this one. But I'm also a big fan of, they did the Lange Sohne tuxedo dial. It's like a tuxedo dial chrono. This is spectacular. I love this. And it's got a base 1000 kind of scale, which is very like vintage scale. And tuxedo dial, obviously, this is inspired by another vintage one.
I like it.
This is gorgeous. But the problem is they're about like 14 and a half millimeters thick. It's too thick a watch, That's the only problem. SLC watch collector saying Monopusher is pure witchcraft. Such a cool font. I mean, hey, I don't understand. I understand how like a chronograph works. Monopusher, forget it. I have no idea. I have like a rough idea. Bear Clooney says, Jesus, what is the accent? What is your background? You're from Switzerland, right?
Yes. So it's a French accent, actually.
Oh, alors tu parles français?
Oui, bien sûr.
Oh, mais tu viens de la Suisse, c'est vrai. Alors, c'est sûr que tu parles français. Vous parlez comme 4 langues dès votre naissance, c'est comme fou.
Ouais, non, mais j'ai vite fait appris l'allemand à l'école. J'ai un peu tout perdu, et puis... he just said, oh, you're Swiss, you speak 4 languages. Well, yes and no. So obviously I speak French. I learned German in school. So at some point I had a very good German level. Now I forget everything. But the very peculiar thing is that in Switzerland, they don't speak German. They speak Swiss German, which has nothing to do with German. So yeah, I know German, but I cannot use it in my own country. So when I go to, for example, Basel or Zurich, I speak English. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's pretty interesting, right? Most of this probably the smartest people I've ever met speak like multiple languages. Well, I mean, smartest people I've ever met. That's an oxymoron, you know. I haven't met that many people in my life that are that smart. But honestly, it's very admirable that you can speak like so many, especially Switzerland, because there's like what, 4 main languages roughly, right? There's the German, French, English, and then obviously Swiss as well, right?
It's called Romanche. It's a bizarre mix between German and Italian. It's actually very pretty to listen to.
Interesting. We got Luis Molina with a question saying, AD called and is offering me a black sub data retail. I've been asking for a Cermet, but he would want me to trade it back in along with 3 to 4K. What do you guys think?
What? What does that mean?
So you want a Cermet at retail, but he's offering you a black sub date right now. But if you would want to get the Cermet, you have to trade that in along with 3 to 4,000. Why can't you keep both and just sell the sub, personally?
Well, I didn't know that ADs would buy back pieces. But...
Dude, I would run so fast from these shady guys who's doing off-the-counter deals like that.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds like a little shady, but I mean, I would get this update and then go up to the Cermet. Even if you were to trade in 3 to 4,000, you would still be up on the deal, right? Technically, from a monetary standpoint. So, I mean, it makes sense dollar-wise, but it's kind of shady if you ask me.
But I mean, because the black sub, you can sell it new for 15,000. The Cermet, you could get it for 18 to 19,000, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much trading the sub plus 4,000, right? So that's what the dealer wants.
So Cars and Chrono wanted me to pull up this chronograph from Omega. So I think the diameter is 34. That's a little small by modern standard. What's the movement?
That's very good. What are you saying?
28.9 CHRO. Yeah, I mean, I guess. What is that? Hold on 1 second.
33. Dude, it sold for $25,000.
That's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah.
For such a... It looks like a column wheel chronograph. I'm not sure what the movement is, though. It says the 28.9 CHRO, whatever that is. It's a column wheel chronograph. Interesting. I mean, it's definitely interesting, no question about it. Like, one thing, like, if we're talking vintage, right? So if we go to the vintage Breguet Type 20, so they've been releasing these for, like, only watch. So this was, like, the only watch this year. But this kind of design, this 2-register, I think this is gorgeous. I wish they would re-release.
By the way, did you see the new only watch Breguet? It's basically this one you have on the screen.
Yeah, but it's brown dial. This one right here, right?
No, the new one now. 2021.
Oh, yes, it's true, because it has the syringe hands, right? It's not the...
Yeah, so it's the one you were showing with the bigger right eye. They did an only watch of this one.
Hold on. That was 2019, right? This is the one.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, like, why don't they... I don't understand, like, brands like this, right? Like, especially Breguet, that they've been struggling for retail sales for a while now. Like, why would they release their best stuff for only watch? It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know, man.
No.
Like, how do you expect to establish a base of collectors? You know? I don't understand it. It's like a perfect design. I mean, even this right here. The just a simple black one or the brown.
I love this one.
And 38 mil, perfect size.
Yeah.
Man, I just don't get it. Somebody explain it to me. Here we got another one from Cars and Chrono, 33 mil. Man, they're only getting smaller. Okay, here we go. A Rolex chronograph. Interesting. I mean, are there any other pictures? I don't know. You know what's interesting about these, though, right, is by modern standards, this is pretty damn incredible, because this is all done by hand, essentially, right? I mean, there was no computers or anything like stamps to stamp this stuff out, right? So they were making these dials back in the day really by hand. We're going back to Rolex hand making watches, and these are very special, size notwithstanding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
AD
this-
is definitely
yeah.
shady, no question.
Yeah, run from the AD. Just
Dangerous
get out.
web saying buy the sub and find a UAD, keep the sub.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Bourbon Heart on the show. What's going on, Burr?
What's going on, man?
By the way,
How's it going?
you guys hear an echo? What's that echo?
Yeah.
I do hear one.
Anybody have an echo? It's not you. It was going on before. Yeah, I love that Breguet only watch 100%, but it's going to go for ridiculous money. Yeah, what's cool is the telemeter is used to measure distance. So telemeter, as far as I know, right, was you would click it, then once the sound would come through, then you would stop the chronograph after that.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to time
Like
how far
artillery
the
shots, right?
how far the lightning is, or the artillery shot.
Yeah, so that is the idea. But listen, there's some incredible. Here, you want me to pull this up? Let me pull this up. Hold on one second. Oh, this is the one we were talking about the other day, right?
Yes.
Oh, this is incredible. Yeah. Now let's pull this up. So this is the Chopek with this almost salmon-esque dial. But man, this is so expensive.
I know.
It has the hidden signature.
Right, that's it. Start when you see it or hear or see the artillery shell. Stop when you hear it. Exactly.
Well, isn't it?
Let me-
Speed goes at what? 760 miles an hour. So it's roughly 3.5 or 4 seconds per mile.
Is there an echo still? I don't think so, right? There shouldn't be.
No, it's okay.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why. When I use my regular mic, I gotta plug in earphones when I use my regular mic. But oh well.
No,
Yeah, this is nice. This is really nice.
Yeah.
It's just the color of the like that pops from the blue and the salmon is just really spectacular.
I like this one as well, the Venturing, but man, this is really special.
That one, there's a waiting list for that one. So,
But isn't it limited? It's a limited edition, right? Yeah, 1 out of 18.
yes, of this rendition. But there's a few renditions where it's one's just silver, the other one's all blue.
We got Kurt joining us. Yes, please, guys, please be sure to upvote. I would definitely appreciate that. We got Jason Martin with the $5 super chat starting us off for the night. Thank you very much. Said Marco, how are you? Very well. How are you, Jason? I hope all is well with you. Your thoughts on the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 41 gray dial on blue strap? Let me pull it up. Omega Aqua Terra. So interesting about this one, right, is I believe the hands and indices are blued steel. It's nice. The only thing is I'm afraid like it's a little too almost flashy, if that makes sense. Like you have to see these in person. They're a little bit like they definitely pop. That dial definitely pops.
I love the bands on these. They look and are extremely comfortable.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really no question. It's a really nice watch, but it's like a silver like here. So this is the best way. Like it's almost like a silvery tone, right?
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Like if you like this, then sure, by all means.
You know which one I really love? It's the one with the enamel dial. It's the Good Planet. Omega Aqua Terra Good Planet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I think this one, I almost bought it once. I was at the dealer. It was on my wrist. I was like, but it was too big.
As to answer your question, Jason, I definitely like it. It's not my favorite. Personally, I would just go with a regular like blue dial if you want this, but I would even go for the Aqua Terra. So there was one like the James Bond version previous, not this
Spectre.
One.
There it is.
Yeah, but there's one. This is the one with the box date at 3 o'clock. This is the one I would get. Hold on, I got to be able.
But isn't it 38? The ones with the
that one's a bit smaller. So I like the vertical striping as opposed to the horizontal, and I like the date at 3 o'clock as opposed to 6.
I'm the exact opposite.
You don't prefer you don't prefer the actual Bond edition one, Marco?
Sorry, say that one more time.
You don't prefer the Bond edition more? I thought you would, because it's more intricate.
Yeah, I like the dial on the Bond one also. But nah, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I don't love yellow. The yellow on a watch is not my favorite.
Okay, no problem.
And I don't love that it's 15,000 with the 007 milgas.
Mhm.
It's a little weird. But yeah, listen, I think you can go wrong with the silver dial one, but I would just say maybe stick to the blue one is probably ideal. The blue is definitely ideal.
I think the hands and indices are more interesting on the silver dial, I would say.
And that's fair.
That's-
Listen, I think you got to try that.
Look
try them on.
how the indices pop out.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Here's a good point. Matt saying had a very early example of Roger Dubuis Monopusher homage chrono. Really regretted trading off years ago. Yeah, I mean these are unobtainium now, especially those 2 register ones. I mean, forget it. You're not getting them. One that's interesting is the Roger Dubuis Monégasque chrono. These ones I like as well, and the movement on this is really nice. Not for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of the older models are really starting to come back in popularity.
Yeah, but the movement on this is really nice. Got this micro rotor movement, really nice stuff.
Yeah. That
And you
is
could have picked these up like a couple of years ago for a really good price. Not this garbage. I hate modern Roger Dubuis. It's so bad, but this stuff I think is really nice. You could get these still for a decent bargain, all things considered, you know?
Right.
By the way, who has this echo, guys? It's killing me. Somebody has an echo. It came on before Burping Heart, so it's not Burp. It's not you. I don't know.
It's not me.
Per says you can use it to figure out the speed of a car over a 1 kilometer stretch of road, with the average speed being in kilometers. Yeah, that's a tachymeter, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cars and Chrono just did that. Watches Global One said, "Did you and Tim fall out?" No, we definitely did not fall out. Tim and myself are okay. We are cool. But thank you very much for the $5 super chat. If there's anything I can answer, please let me know. Okay, somebody said no echo. Maybe it's just me.
I dropped a link in the private chat for you.
Let me pull that up. Hold on one
So
second.
here's Paddock's version.
Oof.
Oh,
like-
wow.
We're talking
Ooh.
split second?
Oh,
I like
wow.
it. But this
Look at
has a
that blue.
calendar on top of it.
Oh,
Right.
Moon phase leap year.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, let me just pull it up on Google. This is next level. I mean, there's not much I can say about this. I think I prefer the salmon type dial personally because I'm just a bigger fan of salmon. But yeah, this is nuts.
So I mean, if you have an extra $500,000 just laying around,
Yeah, I mean, cool, $500,000, right?
but it has the single pusher for the split second chronograph.
Right. Man, this is crazy. This is the stuff that dreams are made of.
Yeah.
We got Perth Luxury with a $2 saying views on the Platinum Omega Aqua Terra World Time. Nice globe. Let's pull it up. So Platinum Aqua. I've actually never seen this, to be fair.
So
Oh,
it looks similar. It looks similar to the
Steel.
steel one, but I think the dial on this one is enamel. I think, if I'm remembering right, versus
Yeah, I think you're right,
like a laser treatment on the steel version.
Can I be honest with you? I don't think this is worth the extra money.
Because
Why
I
would
think
you pay
it's
extra money for this? I don't
think
get
it's like $60,000. How
Is it the same
Oh,
case
cool.
proportions?
That
It
I don't
looks
know.
like it.
Yeah, it's the same.
I haven't held one in the flesh, but
So these are nice, but just way too big. I've seen it at an 80, but it's just it's huge. It's actually way too big. Like the problem is the lugs are actually pretty short, and the bezel is so big. It's like those racing the coaxial speedies. They're huge. You know what I mean? Like it's the lug to lug is actually pretty short, but the dial and the bezel with the dial, it's just it's disproportionate. You know?
yeah,
and if you have the dual sapphire case as well, then it's extremely chunky.
But yeah, man. To answer your question, got to be honest, Perth, I don't think this is worth the money. Like, if we're talking 60,000, forget it. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even
It's
remotely.
not at all worth the money. The Maurice Grossman we saw before cost less.
But fine, yeah, right. No daylight savings, right? That's why Cars and Chrono hates the daylight savings. You know what's another good, staying on topic, right? Talking chronographs. I think the one to get, right, if we're talking underappreciated chronographs right now, is Breitling. Breitling is the way to go, guys. I'm telling you, the Navitimer, the 806 re-edition. Go ahead.
If I'm remembering, I think on Omega's World Time, they have like different color font. And so it does at least let you know the places that have the daylight savings time. You're having to whatever, like add or subtract an hour mentally, but they do different font for different
Oh yes, the
to
different
indicate
color.
the cities that have daylight and the cities that don't. Then obviously they're using London time, which is the same as GMT time. So London is in its own color, but if you go to the standard one, you see like there's different colors for the different cities. So
Gotcha.
like during the summer hours, you're able to calculate for daylight savings. So they're trying, I guess.
Interesting. Moss says the world time is a cool piece. If you draw a line from the center to the city on the outside, it actually passes through the city on the map.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yep.
It's very interesting, actually. Very nice. But yeah, I just want to talk to the panel about Breitling. I think Breitling is the next one up, guys. You look at their Navitimers. You look at the what's it called? Those new bullet bracelets. The Chronomats, I believe it is. No, it's not the Chronomat. It's the it'll come back to me, but there's the Navitimers. There's the new release, the 806 Navitimer, that limited edition. I think is awesome. I think I don't like the pistachio, but I like that 2-register chrono like format. I like the split second. I like the Daytona. I don't personally think it's a 5270p ripoff, but I mean we can get into it if you want to.
I mean, it looks. I mean, it looks similar, very similar to one, but it's not like Patek was the only one that had that design, though. So I mean, it's a pretty common design.
So they don't
for
own
era.
the intellectual property of that design, right? Like that's the first thing. And let me see if I can't find a side by side.
And I really didn't like the pistachio color. And then I got to hold one a couple weeks ago, and it was much better in person. So
yeah, I don't like it regardless. I saw it in person. I did not like it at all. But here's the thing, right? So let's pull up, for example. So the salmon one looks similar because it's the same dial color, right?
Yeah, the salmon one looks most similar.
Right. That's really why, because no one's saying that the white dial one looks similar to a Patek, to be honest with you. Like no one is saying this looks like a Patek.
Yeah.
No one that I've heard of. Only the salmon one gets really criticized. So, but you look at it, right? What exactly are they copying? They're copying the format of because the 5270 doesn't have numerals on the bottom, right? The font is different. I mean, what? Because it's got like a similar layout. It's like I feel like that's a cheap analysis of a watch. I think they're doing a great job. Too thick. Yeah, Perpetual Grind just put it's way too thick, but
yeah, but it's very similar. It doesn't have the moon phase on top, like the that 5372 that we just pulled up.
Yeah,
and that 5372 has the numerals at 4, 5, and 7 and 8, which look very similar to this one. It's just now the moon phase is moved down at the 6 o'clock,
right.
Similar to the 5270.
I mean, even the salmon color is totally different, right? And like these are white gold, but it's blackened, right? So it's black and white gold. And the other one is steel. They're steel indices, right? Or silver looking indices. So they're totally different. Syringe hands on one versus
because they couldn't afford the
right, that too. We just make it way too expensive, right? The moon phases are different, and it's a different complication altogether. I mean, listen, I think this is one option, but I think Breitling also has the Premier that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like the Panda one especially.
Yeah, this is really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. And it's a good size too. Not too big, not too thick either. Yeah. Cardinal Chrono says handle the Breitling way too thick. Yeah, 100%. No question about it. This is nice. I like the Navitimer re-edition. This is really nice.
You know, I was offered this watch once.
How does it wear? Have you tried it on?
Well, it's gigantic, but
Yeah, it's big.
Having seen it, it is very well made. It is a beautiful watch. This is beautiful.
I wish they did two things. One, they didn't use plexiglass. I wish they put sapphire crystal on front and back, but I get it. It's for the visual effect. Yeah, that's really the only thing. And they made it a bit smaller. That's the only two things I wish that they did with this watch. Otherwise, listen, it's a bit busy, but that's what the Navitimer was, right?
Yeah.
This is also a nice one, the 765. Almost reminiscent of those Breguet Type 20. Kind of chronograph, that kind of style.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, let me ask, did they used to do this? And I think this is a re-edition, right? It's a re-edition? Yeah, so they did do this type of chronograph. And does it have any military history, anything like that?
Not
that I know of,
honestly,
right?
not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of. Yeah.
By the way, since we're talking about crazy chronograph what do you think about the Montblanc releasing the Monopusher Minerva movement?
Yeah, we'll get into that. Just very quickly, we've got Ali Reza with the $7.77. Thank you very much. Saying, just finished my last client meeting, dropping by to show my support for our boy Bobby. Thank you very much. Saying, hello, Wings, Jesus, Captain, time for music and a concussion. Wait, did concussion? Is that what he meant, concussion? I hope not. Let me drop the link. Jump on. Jesus. Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's my problem with Minerva and Montblanc, right? So Minerva was, if we're being honest, right? They were not that well regarded as a movement maker, right? So this is what they're well known for, right? It's that devil's tail at the top kind of center. If I'm not mistaken, right? That's really how you distinguish their kind of, oopsies, sorry, I didn't want to do that. That's how you distinguish their kind of movements. But the problem is they're selling these watches. Here, hold on.
Oh, look at that.
It's a
ridiculous price. This one right here. Listen, it's a nice watch, don't get me wrong. And the movement is nice too. But $30,000+ for this?
Well, I mean, it is a gorgeous movement, and
I don't know. It's hard for me to justify this, you know?
Maybe we should handle it because
I think so. That's one of those watches.
It looks nicely finished, but I don't know how nice it's finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is Montblanc.
We would need to inspect closer, you know?
Right. Put this under a loop and
Actually, my AD has these watches. Next time I should ask them if I can take some photos and look at it because it is intriguing.
It looks decent. It looks like they're doing some hand, like the bevels look somewhat hand done, but it's hard to tell without seeing the watch up close.
Exactly. We need more investigation.
And let's be honest, it is Montblanc at the end of the day. It's not like they're Patek or one of these big independents, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you're, and I don't know how true to their Minerva's original design. Like, are they supposed to be? Because they used to do like pocket watches.
Yeah, so they were well-known movement maker, but they weren't that special, right? Barry Clooney saying,
it's very old designs that they started with pocket watches and were able to size them down. But I don't know that they're any better than I don't know. Does it look better than something that's modern? In the same price range, like I don't know. And
I mean, at $30,000, it's serious money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
you could almost get a Vacheron Constantin 1921.
I think
you can pre-owned. You can definitely get them pre-owned.
Better, and they're I don't know, more of a current
Yeah, but the thing is, he
Design
says this
technology.
would discount, but it's only a limited edition of like 50 pieces, right?
Yeah.
I think they only did a couple pieces. They didn't do too many, so I doubt you'll get that big of a discount on these. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, limited 100 pieces. Huh. Interesting. So maybe you might get more. Oh, here's a good. Actually, let's pull this up because you could see the details better. So looking at the movement, right? It looks. I mean, it looks decent.
There's not a ton of finishing to it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look incredible. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it
No,
almost looks a
doesn't
lot
look
of machine
30,000.
finish. They're taking an older style and trying to, like faux claim some like faux historical.
I mean, it definitely looks.
Angle
It
on
looks
it.
like it's hand finished, to be fair, because you could see the
So-
bevels are very well done. You
Yeah.
can see the interior angle here. Even these pieces are definitely hand finished and hand beveled. So there's definitely hand finishing on this. I mean, even look at the devil's tail. Yeah, it's definitely somewhat hand finished.
Hmm.
But man, I don't know. This is ridiculous price, in my opinion. 23 to 24. Yeah, but 23 to 24,000. I think there's good, amazing chronographs you can get into. There's the Breitling 806 that we just pulled up. There's the, I mean, okay, maybe they're not as nice a movement. They're not Monopusher chronographs, but Breitling is still a well-regarded watch manufacturer. 23 to 24,000. You get a Breguet Type 20 all day, Type 21. And I mean, the big knock on the Type 20, Type 21 is the servicing costs you'll face. But the servicing costs of what do you think the servicing costs of a Minerva movement from Montblanc will be? It'll be a couple thousand easily, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Parmigiani Fleurier. That's another good chronograph. I mean, not to everyone's taste, but
I love it.
here.
Well,
So
if,
one
if
of the
it's
best.
the one I think it is.
Yeah, they make some nice stuff, man. Very underappreciated and
Yeah,
disregarded.
I really like Parmigiani. Oh,
This
that's
is the one. This is a really nice one. Although I hate
Oh, yeah.
the date, like between 1:30 and 2 o'clock makes no sense. Like I've read at 1:30,
You.
but these are nice too. The Tonda
Yeah,
chronograph.
I love this one, dude.
These are nice, man. I'm telling
This
you,
is
you can
really
pick these
good.
up for a good discount.
Too
on the
big,
site.
but yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like in terms of hand finish, like great original designs, you're not gonna do much better than this, in my opinion. You can get on a bracelet also. Yeah, I think it's great. We got New England watch collectors with a $2 super chat saying bought a Tevon Tread 2 Godiva 2-day. I mean,
Oh, it's the thread watch, you know? Has the conveyor belts.
yes. These are crazy watches. How much are these? How much do these go for? Any idea?
5K,
5,000?
4K, 5K, I think.
I mean, you could do worse. It's a fun watch, It's a fun watch.
But I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe we should check. But
Yeah, let's see. Hold on one second.
although it's
15,000. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a second.
Ooh. But
I mean,
pre-owned? What's the
It's different,
pre-owned?
you know what I mean? If you want something there's nothing that looks like this or tells time similar to this. But I mean, true, you could probably get a steep discount on the second. I mean, I hope you got a steep discount. It's interesting. I don't know if it's 15,000 interesting. Right. Okay. I didn't pay 15,000. Okay. Good. That's good.
Good.
I mean, it almost gives me like Frank Mueller, Richard Mille type vibes. If that makes sense, the case is very similar.
Like
Yeah.
Frank Mueller and RM.
Bear says, hopefully you paid 1,500.
Maybe they had a threesome with what is it, Adawak?
Yeah, Adawak. the
This is
dollar
what-
store.
This is what came
Urbrecht.
out.
The dollar store Urbrecht.
Man, this is the one watch. I really hope
It's
that
interesting.
Omega keeps making this for like years and years and years so I can get one. Man, this is I love this. Perfect size, 40 mil, 321 movement that's plated in their Sedna gold alloy. That looks amazing. I mean, it really looks great.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Man, where can I get a watch like this? Well, I got a Speedy on the way, so that's a quick teaser.
Wait, do you?
Well, hopefully soon. I'm still waiting on someone to find it.
Okay, what's happening with the sub? Did I miss?
No, that's getting shipped out. I'm selling the sub.
Whew.
Bert, I can't connect with the sub. I don't know what it is, man.
No, as much as people might hate this, I think that they're so close in form factor that if you have a small collection, I don't know if you need both. Like they're so similar.
Listen, I got a lot of people telling me don't sell the stub. You're out of your fucking mind, right? But it's like listen. I wear it and I enjoy it and I like the watch, but it could be placed in other watches, that I will enjoy. And to me, a Speedy would add a chronograph. The one that I'm looking at is different from like what your average Speedy is. So I'm hoping we can find one soon. That'll be great. Yes.
Yeah, then you'll have your
321
chronograph,
Lamania
you'll have
2310.
One watch per brand.
Yeah, exactly. This is
like
what I'm
it.
saying. I can do the one watch per brand.
Ooh.
You already got your diver.
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm falling for manual wine chronos. You know what I mean? I'm starting to look, especially two register like the Chronographs. But the problem is they're fucking uber expensive.
Yeah.
So they're just too expensive. But I'm hoping over the next few years, more brands will catch on. Like this is the stuff that people want. I like also manual wine chronos. Yes, I sold a watch with let me pull this up, Lamania 5100. To be fair, I don't know much about this. Maybe when I see it, I'll recognize it, but I don't know it off by name. Ooh.
That was a super common.
Needed to repair. I love the movement, but it's hard to find parts. This looks like a stinker. What is this?
Oof.
I don't know, man.
Oof.
Why don't you
Like,
just
was
get
this-
yourself a
this
Speedy,
one
Marco?
was-
I mean,
Yeah, he was just saying that.
I am
by
getting
the
a
way,
Speedy.
he is getting a
Perfect.
Speedy.
there you go.
Hard to
But
find.
by the way, we were on the stream with
No, you're
Alex.
not blocked. Pepe D's nuts is not blocked.
We were on a stream with Alex from Perpetual Time, and he said that my Frédéric Piguet chronograph was dog shit.
Wait, who said this?
Alex from Perpetual Time,
Yes. Why did he say it's dog shit?
because he said it's too complicated. Why don't you get a Valjoux instead?
Wait, which one do you have?
I have the Frédéric Piguet, the same that was used in the AP and VC overseas. I have it in my Omega Planet Ocean.
Okay, so we're talking what's it called? I think it's the 3301 is the caliber?
It's the 3313.
3313. Yeah, that's the one. Omega 3313. So that's it's the automatic version, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Why does he hate it? What's the problem? It's too complicated.
Because it's really funny because I like the fact that it's a vertical column wheel. But
Yeah,
Alex
so
was
column
like,
out of vertical clutch. Much
Yeah,
better
and-
than like a traditional
and
speed.
his arguments was, but it's harder to service. So it's
what?
shit. Get a Valjoux instead. And I was like, no.
That's a terrible argument.
This one.
Alex, me and you are beefing. That's a horrible argument because it's harder to service. You shouldn't get it.
Well, I'm sure he's also trying to point out that if it breaks, it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's perhaps
Just send
going
it
to
into
be.
Omega. Just send it into Omega. What's the problem with
Oh.
that?
There you go.
Have to see the 321 in person. Yeah, that's a great watch. Just picked up. Oh Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me copy paste that.
By the way, I can use this chronograph underwater. Something you guys with your speedies cannot do.
Thanks for rubbing it in. I know.
Jeremy Helvey with a $5 saying just picked up the Hamilton. Looks really nice and a fair price. What do you think?
That looks really good.
I don't think you can do much better than this at the kind of, I guess, entry level, quote unquote, right? So that accessible luxury price point. I don't think there's much better that you can do, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I think this is a great watch. I don't know of any others that are really competing at this price point that are as nice. This is a Valjoux 7750, right?
What's the price?
I think it's 7750. About 2000, I think. 2000.
If it's a Valjoux.
It's not a Valjoux?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty modified. I mean, for the subdials to be placed there.
Yeah, it might not be.
Not that it couldn't be. It just part of it would be turned, but I mean, a lot of the Valjoux ones will have the
which one
registers at 6, 9, and 12. It's super common on a lot of the.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's a Valjoux 7753 at a 7753.
Okay, 53. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, what do I think? I think there's one also. There's a Tissot chronograph that they just made. It's like a vintage, almost inspired chronograph.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, is it the one Mr. GMT was talking about?
This is the one. I think this.
Yeah. He was talking about this.
This looks awesome too, but I have to be honest. The shape is not for everybody. I think the Hamilton, you nailed it, man. I don't think you can do much better.
I put a link in the chat. There is a Longines that is very similar that I really like.
Yeah, I like. If it's the blue one that's in a titanium case, I don't like that one. It feels cheap to me. I think in the black dial. Oh no, that's a different one. That's a different one.
This is nice also, but I'd probably go the Big Eye chronograph over this. But this is a little more expensive, to be fair.
So the Big Eye in blue, it's.
Yes.
I don't think it's worth the premium. I think it feels cheaper than the Big Eye in steel.
Yeah, so that's
Just
the thing.
because,
Some people don't love titanium. It just feels too. It doesn't have the luxurious touch, right?
So yeah, so it's like you feel like you feel the anti-shock of the movement, like when you tap it, and to me, it's like it feels kind of cheap. But
yeah, I mean, listen, it's why not? But Jeremy, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciate. Bear Clooney Watch says my watchmaker said it's the stupidest and most idiotic movement. Okay.
which one?
The Omega 3313.
I thought he was talking about a Cartier. I thought he was talking about a Cartier movement. I'm kidding.
It works like a Le Mans. Yeah, it has same history and prestige apparently. Okay, interesting. I'm an addictive guy with a €4.50. Thank you very much. Saying, well, welcome you to Belfast, the best country in the world. I'm looking forward to it, man. That's going to be very, very fun. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much for the super chat, and look forward to seeing you in Belfast, my man. We got Bear Clooney Watch saying watchmakers look at movements. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that is
You
true.
think the Daytona underwater as well. You guys are not swimming with a Daytona. What are you guys, out of your mind?
He was swimming with a platinum one, wasn't he?
He says, I own the Hamilton. A little bit noisy, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, DC and LV with the $2 saying, I always like the VC Harmony. Yeah, that's a nice one. Vacheron Harmony, Monopusher. Now, the one thing is, I think they spoke negatively about this on like that. They did some Hodinkee episode of like a Harmony chronograph. I can't remember if it was this one. Because one thing about Vacheron is you actually have to push like pretty hard to engage the chrono, because they don't like, it's to mitigate user error, right? That's the idea.
Mm.
Well,
So
no,
it's-
what they did wrong is they didn't pay Hodinkee to cover them.
Jesus, I didn't even hear you guys coming in. We got two guys joining us. I hope you weren't waiting long. We got the Watch Sasquatch and Toyota. I just heard Toyota Mo. I saw the Watch Sasquatch as well. Sorry if you were waiting in the background. My bad. Guys, we got something special.
Really.
Mo, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
I
you.
can hear you guys, but I can't. The screen's frozen right now.
Okay, no worries. We'll wait till it comes back up. Sorry, by the way, Ollie, if you were in the background. I hope you're doing well, man.
No worries, I'm good.
But the Toomey, interesting. You were talking about the Toomey. Let me pull that up. Hold on 1 second.
The Tatima?
Tatima, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Tatima Saxon 1.
Okay.
That's the one they modified the Valjoux 7750 to make it behave like the Lamagna. The chronograph version. And they have a whole presentation on it. I just don't know the history of why.
I've never really heard of this brand, to be frank, honestly.
Me neither.
I've never heard of this brand, but I need to look into this. This is interesting because there's another watchmaker who used the Valjoux 7750 and he kind of modified it, right? So it was Habring. Habring will use in his, so in his movements, he will use like the base, right? The rough base of it is a Valjoux 7750, but then he obviously highly modifies it. But it looks totally unrecognizable, right? So that's interesting. I need to look into Tutima. I've actually never heard of them before, to be honest. That's a rarity. Toyota Mo, how's the screen? Is it back?
Yeah, it's back.
Okay, I just need to get through a couple super chat, and then we will get to what we have to get into because this is a special day. This is a special day. We got Rez with a $20 saying great subject matter with many different angles. Keep it up. Thank you very much. We got a lot of chronographs to get into, but thank you very much for the $20. I'm just going to go through these a little rapidly because I want Toyota Mo to get to his presentation. We got the real Cars and Chrono with a $10 for the representation. Good to see folks on Talking Watch. That's what it's all about. It's all about the watches. And Mr. GMT with the $2 saying, yes, Toyota Mo in the house. Yeah. Right there. Here we go, guys. Mo, my man, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well, man.
Playing? So you got a little something to show us? You got a little
I do. I've been holding on this one for a little while, and I was just so excited to share with you guys. This is by far the biggest purchase I've ever made. Right. I mean, me and Marco have been talking about this watch for the last 6 months at least. Every time I would visit my AD, I would always happen to shoot Marco a pic of this watch, and I ain't gonna lie, I made a little bit of money on ETH the last month or so. So I was like, you know what, this is the time. Let me just get this over with. And I definitely needed a dress watch in my collection. I think that was probably that and a chronograph are the two biggest things that I'm missing. Chronograph is hopefully coming up next. So, you guys ready?
Hold on a second. You're frozen. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, you're back.
All right, I'm back.
1 second.
I'm at my mom's house, so this is a pretty shitty service, but it's all good.
No worries. Right. Just very quickly, let me just get this super chat from Addis with the $10. Just build up a little bit of suspense. We got to build up the suspense. We tried on the 5167 and 5164 AD owner's personal collection. Underwhelmed. I even like the Daytona on Isorflex more, and I'm not even into Daytona like other people. So that's the Aquanaut travel time and just the regular time only Aquanaut. Ooh. You know what? I got to be honest with you. I tend to agree, Addis. Listen, it's nice. I like the design better, but that Daytona and Oysterflex that JJ has, even the Meteorite that Toyota Mo's looking to get, I think those are the ones to get on rubber sports watches.
That Space Panda is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
All right. Before we get into the unboxing, Cars and Chrono says, got to milk the unboxing by getting the panel to guess. Guys, any ideas what it might be? Any ideas? What have we?
It was a black box. I would have guessed another Rolex, but that box doesn't look like a Rolex box. So,
what are we thinking in the chat, guys? What are we thinking? Or on the panel as well.
I don't
most
have
expensive. What's your current most expensive watch? It's not your Pepsi.
Yeah. I mean, they're all at retail, so I mean, they're all 10 to 12,000.
All right. What's a good hint? It's something we've been talking about for 6 months. Yes, it is complicated. Well, it's 6 months, more like 8 months.
Yeah, no, for sure, 8 months.
Yeah, we've been talking about it since the beginning. This is okay. We're getting normal. This is the brand.
Oh, that's a good one.
Can we do the reveal to it? Let's do this.
It's 1921. 1921. Final answer.
No.
No,
Oh, man.
5,500.
Mo, your reception is killing me. Okay,
It's
here we
really
go.
bad, right?
Yeah,
Is it good?
I
We're
hope he
5,500.
intentionally. I hope he
Yeah, I'm just
intentionally
gonna-
drops off.
guys,
right
I'm just gonna
before-
put people in the backstage for now,
Yeah.
just because it's too many cameras. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or actually, yeah, let's keep everybody stay on. Just turn off our cameras if we can. That'll be better. There we go. Now it shouldn't zap as
We're
much.
good? All right,
Yeah, we're
cool.
good.
So it is definitely
Oh.
a Vacheron.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Marco seems more excited than Toyota.
Ooh.
Was it smelly?
The smell of success.
This is the smell of success.
That's it. That's the smell of you fucking made it. boys.
All right, so I'll be honest with you guys. I did buy this at retail. I could have probably got this a little cheaper, but I was talking to JJ about this, and my AD sells me Rolex at retail, so this is kind of like a little thank you. And why not, right? Why not?
Right.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready, man.
Let's do it.
Da-da, da-da.
Da-da, 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 da-da.
Beautiful.
1942,
Yeah.
guys. How did nobody guess it? We've
Oh
been
my
talking about
God.
this forever.
That is so
man.
pretty.
Can you guys hear it? Let me get it out of here.
It looks amazing.
That is so pretty.
Oh. That's the one, guys.
So usually when I get a new watch, I'll just throw it in the rotation. I ain't gonna even lie. I've been wearing this every day for the last 2 weeks. Like, every day. I absolutely love this watch.
You know how hard it was
beautiful.
not to reveal this? I was like, oh, you got to be kidding with me. Like,
That's the
Shit.
blue.
Is it?
Blue.
no, he's got the red
So
one.
this is the red
Is it
one.
red? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
thing,
amazing.
yeah, I fell in love with the red one. Marco he still wants the blue one, I think, and I still think you should get it. I mean, this watch is absolutely beautiful.
Maybe I should get it. Fuck the
That is
Speedmaster. Just
so
go balls
pretty.
to
So I'm gonna
That
rank
is so
this
pretty.
up there with,
Thanks,
I'm
Corbs.
gonna put this behind the GMT, the sub, and it's gonna go with this watch. I mean, this
That
thing
is so pretty,
beautiful.
man. Congratulations.
It is
Yeah,
beautiful.
we're in good health, man.
Manual one.
Right on. Thank you guys. Thank you. Glad to share with you guys. I mean, it's wow. I mean, there's times where I just catch myself just staring at this thing. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off the cam. I'll stay with you guys, okay?
Congratulations,
Congrats,
Toyota.
Toyota. That's awesome.
Mo, thank you so much for the
Well
unboxing, my man. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Keep your eyes on the road. Stop staring at the
For
watch.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Take care.
Marco, can I ride on Toyota's tails for a second?
Absolutely.
So
Here we go, guys.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a double unboxing if I've ever seen one.
damn.
Bang!
Damn. Oh, shit.
What the F? Are we all supposed to be getting VCs now? What's
Yeah, kind of.
going
Oh,
on here?
Man.
so I'm waiting for the links.
yeah, just that one link or a couple links?
They will only sell them in pairs apparently or I guess not a pairs, and a half link and a full link. But yeah, I'm waiting for the one. And then it will fit my Sasquatch wrist.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Oh, I can't wait to see that on the wrist.
Yeah, sorry, Cars Chrono. I gotta figure out how to use a camera and get a better camera. Oh, there goes Jesus with his Vacheron.
Yes, here he is. Hold on, let me.
Guys, where's your VC? This is VC exclusive club.
We're
What are you
working on
guys
it.
doing?
Right. Man, exactly. Cars and Corona saying, what the fuck? Raining Constantins. I got to get one for myself, I feel like,
Yeah.
now for tonight. Man, how am I the only one spruiking this bloody brand and I don't own this watch, you know? Oh, man, 100%. This is, guys, amazing watch. Congrats, Toyota Mo, and of course, Ali.
Congrats.
I mean,
Toyota went for the straight
the watch is
class.
out of my mouth. I'm so glad VC is getting the respect it deserves. Yeah, 100%. No question about it. Let me just block this guy. We got Cards and Chrono saying congrats to Ali Reza. This show features VC. Oh, okay. Let's just move on. Ruby Hart saying congratulations to Toyota Mo. Rez, congrats to the watch Sasquatch. This is amazing, guys. Where else are you going to see double VC unboxing? You ain't going to see this.
You know what?
anywhere.
And also, congrats to Mo for going for the red dial one because it is nice. It is very nice, and it's certainly off the beaten path.
Let me pull an image up because unfortunately his camera was not the most ideal setup. So I like the red, but personally, I prefer the blue. Is my favorite color, right? And I like how
I like the
blue
red.
I prefer the red too.
Red's
Red.
nice.
Team red.
Yeah, I like the red better.
Hey, no worries. But this is the picture that made me really love this watch. This right here, it showcases everything. So it's the kind of stepped case, the really thin blued hands, those inky numerals. I mean, I just love the contrast. The two different blues, the blue from the date wheel, the outer date, and the two date wheels, so the day and the month, and then the blued hands themselves. I think this is just
teardrop lugs.
And the teardrop lugs. That's what make it,
Yeah.
And then obviously the movement is the caliber 4400 base, which my guy Kari Voutilainen speaks very highly of. Obviously, this is modified to have a triple date function, Geneva seal case and movement. Gorgeous, absolutely. I mean, man, Toyota Mo knocked this out of. I need to get one for myself. Forget the Speedmaster. I'm getting one of these. I need to get one of these. Oh man, Mo. You guys are costing me a lot of money here. Fuck. No. Oh, man. Guys, congratulations to both Mo and to the Watch Slash Watch. Amazing unboxing. And,
You know what else I got? And I didn't open this up. Another big black box, but I'm just going to say right off the bat, it's not a watch. But I went ahead and picked up one of those.
Oh, the watch stand.
The stand.
Yeah.
From Pride and Pinion?
I did pick it up from Pride and Pinion.
Nice.
Very
How's
nice.
the quality on that?
I literally just pulled it out of the box. It is heavy as fuck.
Okay. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, that looks quality. That's perfect. You put that on your desk or on your nightstand.
Yeah.
Just ideal. We got Big Sal with the $5 saying, "Fike me dead. Congrats, Mo. Gorgeous. I thought it was the 1921. I would have passed out. Congrats, Sasquatch. I'm drooling." Yeah, where else, guys? Where else are you gonna get double unboxing of Vacheron Constantin like that? Just nowhere else, guys. It's the only place where you'll get it.
Yeah.
On the Watch Cardinals channel, guys. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please be sure to hit that upvote button. Very, very important for the YouTube analytics. But Sal, thank you very much for the $5. Go ahead, Bernard.
Oh no, I was just gonna say you can even read the next chat. You seemed more excited than Toyota Mo.
Yeah, I mean,
Watch.
Rez with the $20 saying Marco's reaction priceless for your future VC fund. Yeah, I mean, listen, I wanted to get the Corn de Vache, right? I said, let's just go all out, get the 2 register chrono, but
That's what you're still getting the Corn de Vache. I started the fund for the Corn de Vache. It held. First one in, it's got to hold. That's where Rez's money goes.
I can't deviate. You know what I mean? I wanted to get the Speedmaster, but maybe I gotta ditch the Speedmaster and just go straight for the Corn de Vache. One track mind. You know what I mean? I put all the money from the fund and the sub into the Corn de Vache. I mean, it's not cheap. It's like $40,000, guys. Like this is an expensive fucking watch, you know. But Rez, thank you very much. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's no secret. I love this bloody watch. Here, I'm gonna pull up my Instagram. I've literally I think I made like 4 posts of this watch on my Instagram. Hold on. Let's go through this. So here's one. Amazing. Here's 2. I'm in love with this bloody watch. Where's the 3rd? I know there's at least 3. This is another good one. This is the not the Historiques 1942. It's the 56 complete calendar.
This one in rose gold is beautiful.
Yeah,
because
this
you get the off-white dial with it.
This is unbelievable.
It's amazing.
But that's a different tax price. This is the one. Oh man, you see, look, 5 weeks ago. I gotta get one track mind, guys. One track mind. One track. Rise, thank you very much for the $20 super chats. We got GS Superman. Hold on, I just want to pull this up. We got the Real Cards and Crows saying, anyone else? No more unboxings. Yeah, there's not many unboxings. I mean, I get the box things that came in. So I got this watch pouch from Ali. Ali kindly sent that in, and I got. Hold on, let me get everything. I got it all behind me because I made a video. I just haven't released it. He also sent me a nice Mirage watch roll. This one is really good. It's really good. I just got to change the cushions because here, let me show you. It's kind of embarrassing to be honest, but it's funny. So if you've ever wondered how small my wrist is, let me just give you a perfect scenario. This will fit, I think, about a 7-inch wrist, right? These pillows standard, about, right, roughly. So here's the pillow, and here's me trying to close. I can't even bend the clasp. It's too small. Yeah, it's bad. But there's the Mirage roll, really nice. I gave this away. I gave a 2 box to Danger's wife because Danger won the Bosphorus roll. So I said I might as well include the Mirage roll, which was just collecting dust. So I gave it to his wife, and I was kind of sad because it's a good travel roll. You know, like you want to throw it into your bag when you're traveling. It's a perfect roll for that. But now I'll be using this. So thank you very much. And then I got a couple of Hodinkee pouches, which are going to go to JJ and Tim when I meet them in London. Hopefully, if that still happens and COVID doesn't fight that up. And then I got also the Grand Seiko pouch. So I did an unboxing of all of these. So I'll show, and the Bremont cup. Can't forget that. This is cool too. I've used this actually a couple times already. Put tea in the morning, and it's like reusable, so it's great. Perfect.
Wait, you're giving away the Bremont cup?
I'm not giving that away. No.
Okay. That one's not.
I'm keeping that. Keeping everything. We got GS Superman with the $20 saying thoughts on a vintage Zenith 1915. Yeah, let me pull this up. Zenith 19518.
This is a older one, right?
I've never seen this before. This is interesting. 2 register chrono, 38 mil in pink gold. Hold on, what's the movement in this? That's a good question.
It's that 156.
Interesting. I've never seen this before, actually. This is the first time I see anything like this. This looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can find one at the right price, I don't even know what these go for, but I imagine they're not crazy expensive considering what you're getting.
I think like
5,000. That's it.
They don't come up very often, though. I haven't seen a ton of them.
Interesting. This might be one to look out for in the future. 38 mil size. It's perfect. 2 register chrono, manual wind movement. What's the movement again? Sorry, you just said it. I didn't hear it.
Well, he put it in his chat. Is it the 156? Is it their own movement?
Zenith caliber 156D. Hold on a second. Let me pull up.
They had some that I think was like a 146.
Yeah.
Also in that same.
So this is what it looks like. It's column wheel, but I don't know much about this, to be fair. If anybody has any information, please let us know down in the chat. I'd actually like to know more info on this movement because I've never seen this before, to be fair. I mean, for the price, I don't think you can do much better than this. It's incredible. Why have I never seen this? Thank you for pointing it out. Yeah. I mean, thoughts on it? If for the right
price.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, they're like a 37-ish millimeter case, so they're not like tiny.
Yeah, they're a good kind of size. Very, I mean, they're a vintage watch, so they got a great vintage aesthetic. I mean, this strikes a perfect balance between modern size and modern kind of case with a vintage aesthetic and vintage movement in it. Awesome.
I like the blue hands on the subdials.
Sorry, say that again?
Go ahead, Captain.
Oh, I was just saying they're going to be like acrylic crystals on them.
Ooh, but I mean, yeah, not a big deal.
I mean, it's just that was par for the era, right?
Yeah, that's what they would use. But yeah, if you can find one in good condition, all original, obviously, in good working condition, GS Superman, I don't think you can do much better. Not for that price. 5,000 is a steal. We got the real Cars and Chrono with the $20 saying congrats to Mo and Bigfoot VC for the win. Yeah, I got to be honest. It's, in my opinion, I think VC is the most underappreciated of the Trinity. It's quickly becoming one of the more appreciated brands out there, and they're definitely deserving of it.
I agree.
As far as like a well-rounded brand, I do think they're far more well-rounded than AP now.
Yeah.
Like
so if you were gonna
yes.
try to build a collection with just one brand, you could easily do it with VC.
Oh yeah, there's no question, and I love AP. I mean, I utterly love AP, but there's no question. Like they're
yeah, the Jewels collection. Nobody buys the Jewels collection. Let's just be. And the problem is they lack like any real thought or inspiration behind a lot of them. You know what I mean? They're not that appealing. Even the Millennium, I'm not a big fan.
I'm not. The Millennium is not for me, but damn, they're pretty. And some of the Code 1159s are pretty too. But like in general, I haven't seen many offshores that I would just even wear. Like if they gave them to me, right? But yeah, I still love my AP.
Yeah, and I think Vacheron has the Atelier Les Cabinotiers, which is, I mean, they produce some of the best watches ever.
Oh, jeez. It's the 15400.
No, this is the 15500. I have a
500.
15400 with a silver dial, and I'm going to sell one of them, but I don't know which one yet.
That's a tough one. So it's choosing between your babies.
Well, no, this one, the gray dial has a very special meaning to me, but the 15400 aesthetic is just a little bit nicer than 15500. At least for me.
So GS Zoomerman brings up a good point, saying the 56 use a Cartier movement from what I recall. So the base one, right, just the one with the date does, but not the date or there's another one, I forget what it is.
Triple calendar.
Yeah, so that's the triple calendar.
The power reserve.
Yeah, the power reserve, right? It's got a date and a power reserve. So those two actually use in-house movements and their Geneva seal case and movement. So those are good, no question about it. So coming back to GS Superman, actually, I think another one that's modern but vintage inspired is the Zenith. I really like this one. It's the Zenith Manufacturer Edition. So this is probably my favorite El Primero out of any they've ever made because it's got the tricolored blue subdials.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So originally it was only made for people to be able to buy it in Switzerland. However, because of COVID, obviously they made it available to the average person kind of through their website. But interesting is 38 mil case, kind of the El Primero movement, but this dial has never been used before. So it was actually found in their attic purely by chance, and it was previously unreleased. So then they decided to release it, and that's why they called it the Manufacturer Edition, because they had found it kind of in their attic really by chance more than anything else. And I think this just looks great. Blue's my favorite color. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous chronograph.
I have a stupid question. So in all of my travels, I'll stop by any ADs that I can find when I'm traveling. I've never seen a Zenith AD in the US.
Interesting. I have a Zenith AD in Montreal.
Yeah,
but in the US, there's no Zenith ADs. I'd be shocked.
I mean, I haven't seen one, so I'm curious. Like Captain's squinting. I don't know if he's seen one. Wings. I don't know if you've seen one. Toy, I don't know if you're still with us.
Yeah, I'm still here. I've never seen one actually. Now that I think about it,
Rafi's Jewelers used to have a Zenith spot in their store, but I haven't been there to see it.
And I think I want to say it might have been is it Tourneau that carries Zenith?
Damn, they don't even have that many.
I mean, to be honest with you, I never really.
We're in New York. Is that Tourneau that?
I mean, every time if I went to Tourneau, I never really paid much attention to see if they had Zenith.
Look at this.
If you zoom into New York, though.
Yep. Okay. So there's quite a few in New York and California, but yeah, there's not many actually. One in Maryland, South Carolina, Tennessee, Louisiana,
I
Florida.
don't remember seeing any of the ones in Miami. Oh, there's one in Orlando too? Holy crap. Wait, can you click on the one in Orlando? Because if that's Mayors, they dropped it.
Bandera's in Toronto is Zenith 80 as well. I just double checked.
Luxury of time.
Yeah, they don't have it anymore. Luxury of Time doesn't have them anymore either.
Okay. There you go. I mean, listen, not many in the United States, to be fair.
Angel Robinson. Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Look at this. Cars and Chronos reminding us, stop talking VC, jacking up the price. That's right. But yeah, I mean, speaking of chronographs, right? We were talking about the first Swiss automatic chronograph, the first Swiss automatic, because they weren't the first technically to market. I think it was Seiko, right, Birmingham? Seiko made them. Yeah, but to be fair, they were the first to advertise they had an automatic chronograph.
So I think theirs was the first to market, like a retail market, like
right.
in a chronograph wristwatch, not the first chronograph.
What are you talking about? Which movement?
The El Primero?
No, El Primero was the first automatic chronograph to have the accuracy of 1/10 of a second. That's the claim.
Accuracy of 1/10 of a second?
Yeah, when you stop the watch, it shows.
Okay, gotcha.
The second.
Gotcha. So the actual chronograph function, right?
Yes. And
well, originally it was the first automatic chronograph ever made, right? That was the original claim.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the original claim. This is another nice one, but I don't love the brown dial, to be fair. I prefer the A384 just in the Panda case. That's that funky kind of case with the Gay Ferris bracelet. Nice, but not my favorite, honestly. I almost ripped my nail off trying to open the clasp. It's so bad. Compared to Rolex, that's the one thing Rolex have mastered is the clasp, guys. Oh, but otherwise, whew. Okay, let me pull this up from Cars and Chrono asking. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring this up. Oh, yes, this is that pocket watch.
Oh, it's the ultra complicated watch.
Yeah. So this is the most complicated pocket watch ever, right?
Yeah.
Was it outdone? I don't think so, right?
Flip it over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the backside too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be fair. Like this is
18 years to make. Has 57 complications.
28, 26 individual parts, 10 patents, 31 hands, 85 prototypes. I mean, 60 over 60 complication. Oh no, 57 complication. Yeah. Incredible.
That's crazy.
I mean, I think we're all speechless here.
It is rumored that the guy who made the commission paid 20 million.
20 million?
How long ago did this come out?
2017, right?
It took 8 years to make it.
Oh, wow.
2015 it came out, sorry, 2015.
Who said sending that to service?
This would make a great desk clock, guys.
Von Kroll, yeah.
Yeah.
Great desk clock, as Cars and Chrono uses his pocket watch as a desk clock, right? I mean, this is a masterpiece. Yeah, like there's no question about it.
That's insane.
So, guys, let me ask you.
I love how they integrate the Maltese cross in the back of it too.
Right. It's incredible. Yeah, GS Superman saying Seiko was the first automatic chrono. Yes, it was.
It was the first to market. I think there's some debate though for Zenith like making one, but Seiko was the first that you could actually go and buy, like the first to markets.
Right. So Zenith was the first Swiss automatic chrono movement.
Yeah.
Mossy saying the service cost is 20 mil. So let me ask Mo and Ali, how does it feel, guys, to have the VCs in the collection?
Pretty good.
Well, you can't really wear yours, Ali. You can't wear yours yet. Unfortunately, doesn't fit your wrist. That kind of takes away from the experience.
Hey,
Well, I guess not.
Ali, sorry, I jumped off when you revealed yours. If you wouldn't mind, can I see it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's show that full screen one more time.
See if I can get it to focus.
Bam.
There we go. Oh, I love that. I love that dual time.
Gorgeous.
Pretty sweet.
Absolutely amazing. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Mo, how
man.
does it feel, man?
How comfy is it,
Have a
Alan?
PC in the collection.
I mean, it's a good change from Rolex, because I was really Rolex heavy. It was, it was good to switch it up a little bit. But yeah, it feels great. Like I said, I've been wearing this thing every day.
Yeah, that'll be me when I get the Lincoln. I'll be wearing mine every day for a while.
Right. I mean, you're waiting on two links, right? And they said it's going to take 2 weeks before they get it.
Yeah, a link and a half.
Working them in some cave in Japan. How does
Apparently
it take?
Afghanistan.
Are you kidding? I don't get this. Can you not can't they just pinch 2 links from another overseas that they have?
Overseas are hot right now.
Yeah, that conversation, I suggested that since there was another overseas present. But no, the other thing is that if you're in the market for the 2nd generation chrono, which is, I think, better than 3rd generation chrono, at least aesthetically, right? Those can be had for a steal right now.
That's another good one.
So I was really loving the 3rd generation chrono until somebody pointed out that damn date window. Who was that?
It ruins it.
It was,
Oh my God,
probably Cars and Chrono, or it could have been me, because I don't like the date window.
Yeah, I think it was Cars and Chrono, because he
I
said
don't
all
like
the
it
time.
either.
It's the worst.
I mean, I was really close to pulling the trigger on it, and then all of a sudden, every time I look at that watch, I look at the date window. I mean, it's so out of place. It does not need to be there.
So these are the 1st gen, right? Which I really hate, because this bracelet is fugly on the 1st gen.
Yeah.
I really hate that bracelet.
Yeah, it's ugly.
No.
But the 2nd gen, I'm with you. But they're starting to get. They're creeping up, and like 30,000 is not cheap by any means. But
No,
you get a lot of bang for your buck.
You can pick up the 2nd gen for $19K, $20K right now.
Yeah, but this is Canadian, mind you. This is Canadian dollars, by the way, just for those. I'm a Canadian punter, So, yeah, I mean, listen, 20,000 for a chronograph from Vacheron. I like the big date at 12 much more. It looks so much nicer.
I think they should just get rid of the date completely. I mean, it would look a lot cleaner, in my opinion.
On the 3rd gen, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. On the 3rd gen, it ruins the whole watch, because the 3rd gen just look at this Panda one, or reverse Panda rather. It looks amazing, but then they ruin it with this bloody date window. Just get rid of the fucking thing. Why would you need a chrono on a date? Didn't Tim say that the other day? You don't need a chrono on this. You don't need a date on this chrono.
I mean, it's a great looking watch, but the first thing I look at is the date. I mean,
Now
it's just
you can't
right
see
to it. I cannot unsee it now. Yeah.
It's like what's it called? It's like the Zeitwerk. Now I can't stop seeing
Right.
T-shirt every time I look at it. It's like once you point it out, you know what I mean? It's just.
That's actually what I dislike about a lot of the Zenith El Primeros, though.
The 430 date can
430
irk a lot of
window.
people.
That's why I like the shadow. It doesn't have the fucking date.
Yes, the shadow's nice. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, right? To me, all these brands, right? And that's why I respect so much about Rolex and Patek in particular, right? They get the little details right all the time, very consistently, right? Like Omega, Blancpain, VC. They'll get those little details that just make all the world of difference, and you're like, oh man, I can't do it.
I'd be curious. You pulled up Bear Clooney's comment. The 2nd generation is garbage compared to the 3rd generation.
Yeah, so it's mostly related to the finish. I'm assuming is what he's talking about, right? And you also get I don't think he's talking about the chrono, because I think he has the 2nd gen, the blue dial chrono. I don't think he's talking about the chrono. I think he's mostly talking about the 3-hander and the GMT. The 3-hander and dual time, I would agree. The finish of the case, the movement, everything is much nicer. But the 3rd gen chrono, I prefer the layout alone. That just does it for me. So I would give the 3rd gen chrono, honestly.
But I think the debate, though, in the community is the premium you're paying for that 3rd gen.
Right. And that's the problem, right? Von Kroll says it. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't miss it either. And he says at that price, there can't be anything that bugs you on it, right?
Yeah.
It has to be as close to perfect as possible.
True. Yep. I agree with that.
So guys, what am I doing? Am I waiting? Am I waiting for the Speedmaster? to come in, or do I just say fight the Speedmaster? I go balls to the walls and just go VC.
Cards and Chrono said it best. He said it best a few weeks ago. You go for the Grail. You go for the Grail.
You go for the
You gotta
anchor
get
piece.
the anchor pieces, right? You
Anchor
gotta
piece, the piece that which it will be your identity.
So
I think
here's-
you settle.
Is the Speedmaster a Marco watch?
I think you
So-
settle. I think you settle, Marco. Because here's the thing,
I mean,
it's
here's-
going to retain its value decently well, so you'll be able to sell it. Okay, think of it
So it's
like
not any Speedmaster though. So I'll pull
That's
up
what I'm
that.
thinking. I'm thinking that you can wear the Speedy for a little bit, enjoy it, and when it's time, just flick it.
it's like a starter wife.
So here's the Speedmaster I want, right? This is the enamel dial 50th anniversary Speedmaster.
Oh,
So it's not just any
Oh.
Speedy, right?
Okay, now
It's
you're
quite
going
a
crazy. I
special
thought you were talking
opportunity.
about. Okay,
No, it's not just like a regular Speedmaster, right? So, and it's got this movement, which is the 3301, I believe it is. I think it's similar to the movement that you have, except it's the it's they took out the winding, like the winding mass on it. Oh,
Marco, how much are you looking to get that watch for?
yeah, we're trying to do like a trade for the sub and get some money.
No,
in
no,
exchange.
no, 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 no,
no. Yeah.
Don't trade the sub for that.
I take.
Yeah,
back
so
everything I
that's
said.
the thing.
No, you
right?
need. So here's the thing: you got to hold the sub because that's just gonna keep going up and up in value, or at least that's the idea.
Here it is. So Bear says second gen finish is inferior, movement is inferior, and ultimately watch as a whole doesn't compare to the third gen. Yeah, so it's mostly, I think the finish of the case, bracelet, bezel is one thing. I think the movement is another thing, right? Because they now have an in-house movement, Geneva seal case and movement. They also have a display back on the third versus the second gen. But I wouldn't say it's that much inferior. You know what it's not that drastic, I think, as Bear makes it, to be frank and honest with you. GS Superman says, this better be an Ed White. Okay. So what do we think, guys? Now that I've revealed the one that I wanted, there's a couple of people who
What's
guessed
the
it.
reference on that one?
Say that again?
What's the reference on that Speedmaster?
Oh, it's long. Hold on. Let me get it for you.
The last 4 digits.
The last four digits are, so it's 0011. Here, I'll just put it in the private chat.
So I don't think I don't think you've been like a long-term Omega fanboy like for a long time. I think Omega's going to be a phase for you. So I don't know if I'd pay the premium versus just getting something that's going to scratch that itch, like a 1863 or.
See, so
Or
Frank
something
said, don't trade your sub. That's your workhorse. But I don't wear the sub at all. It's not my workhorse. I wear the Bruce Wayne or the Pam on 99.9% of occasions. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't wear the sub anymore.
So you're gonna sell the sub, buy Dogecoin, and just wait.
Exactly. You got to buy
Diamond
Ethereum and
hands
pray.
and just-
Cardano and pray. Got to buy Cardano and pray.
You know what,
Big
Marco? I really don't see you as an Omega person, man. I really just Birmingham is right. I just don't see it.
They're made in
Yeah,
China practically.
I don't know, like
Oh.
in my head, if you're jetting the sub for that, it's not that I like the sub better. It's that I would hold on to the sub
The future value of the sub.
Yeah.
and then jet that for the Chronographs.
There you go.
Okay,
There
but
you
go. Honestly,
if this
like- Go ahead.
if the sub keeps going up in value, when do you cash out? Are you gonna wait years to gain a couple $1,000? Years? Would you?
I don't know if, I mean, I'm not sure if it will be years for a few $1,000s, but any which way you cut it, it's going to be more than the Speedmaster.
By the way, I just want to say this. Barry Queenie says Marco does not look at the sub as a workhorse. Neither do I. Yeah, it's not a workhorse watch at all, guys. Like a sub is still a precious Rolex. Like I wouldn't. I baby the sub, no question about it. I wouldn't use it as I wouldn't be changing oil in my car or.
I mean,
swimming with the watch. on.
You have the GMT. You can do without the sub. That
Exactly.
would be my
I
thing.
don't know.
One
I
watch
think
per
a
pair.
sub and a GMT in a collection is a perfect 2-piece Rolex combo meal deal right there.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, but
Berman
he
Hard's
doesn't
right.
care about the fucking sub, and everybody has a sub. It's
Right,
not-
right,
it's
right,
not
right.
Okay,
special.
well, not everybody has a sub, but a lot of people have a sub, right?
But
Let's not be
but
elitist here.
everybody's right. Like if it's just gonna be a Speedmaster phase, you're better off getting the VC and then later down the road getting an 1861 with the Hesselite. It'll be cheaper on your wallet,
No,
right?
I'm not a fan of the 1861 at all.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's just you don't have to get rid of the sub for that watch at least, right?
Right.
But that would be a killer 3-piece to have a Speedmaster,
Yeah.
a Pam, and a Batman.
The other one I like is the Panda Dial CK2998.
Yeah, I love
That's
this
another
one.
one I like. I like that one also.
Expensive.
Yeah, they're starting to creep up in price. That's the only problem. But the problem is I much prefer the 50th anniversary because it has a column wheel vertical clutch movement, right? The Frederick PA.
Mhm.
And it's an enamel dial, which is very, like, it looks from the outside, right? You look at this and it looks like a regular Speedy, right? But it's not a regular Speedy at all. And that's what's interesting to me. That's what I really like about it. It's like a Speedy with a twist kind of thing.
So if I'm just looking at this from the outside, that just looks like a regular old Speedy to me.
Right.
I mean, people are saying there's millions of subs out there. I mean, there's billions of Speedmasters out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at this. Bears not. Oh, hold on. We got go with your heart. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Frank says my sub takes a beating and never a worry. Yeah, see, I'm with Bear. I baby all my Rolex watch 100%, man. I got the first like tiny micro scratch on the clasp with my Bruce Wayne, and I was crying. I was like, oh no. I was like, fuck. It's like so small you can't even see it unless you squint super hard. But I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Just sell the Pam and get the first Omega in space. Bear thinks it's so easy, you know what I mean? Just sell everything, you know? Sell the watch that means the most to you. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me pull up this image from Bourbon.
So I'm actually interested. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
No,
interested
it'll
in
take
Captain's
a second. Go
first
ahead.
take on the Omega, right? Because when you started saying it, you were pro Omega purchase for Marco. And I didn't hear your whole first take.
No. So I wasn't thinking he was going to go with like a fancy one. I thought he was just going to go with like a basic, like a 1863 kind of run of the mill, so that he could get one. He could say, yeah, that he had one in the collection. He could experience it for a little bit, and then when he wants to sell it, I think they're pretty easy to move along. Once you start going with some of the limited edition ones, then I think that you're run a little bit more risk of the price coming down on some of them. I don't know. It seems to fluctuate a little bit more than just like the basic models. And then he'd be able to try it and experience it and move it along when he's ready.
So this is definitely my favorite. So Duco Ted just mentioned it. I really like this one because it gives me, so you can buy like a bracelet aftermarket on it, and it gives me like almost exotic dial Paul Newman vibes, right? Because of the red text and the red hand and the Panda obviously layout. So hold on, let me find this Omega CK2998 bracelet. And it just on bracelet looks killer. It looks absolutely amazing, but man, it's just, I don't know if it's worth, because they're creeping up in price. And I don't love the 1861 movement. It's kind of a cheap and nasty movement, if we're being honest with one another. It's made in China.
Yeah, hey, it's period correct. There.
Look at this. They're saying, I'm telling you, sub Batgirl. It's called the Bruce Wayne bear. Nico declared it the Bruce Wayne, and he said, and first Omega in space is Percocet Trio. I don't like it. You guys sell the Pam? No way. No chance, guys. I think this looks great. If I would, honestly, outside of the enamel dial Speedy, this is the one I would get.
I kind of like, have you seen the, what are they called? The Mitsukoshi dials?
Yeah, those are nice too.
Can you pull that up? I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, sure. So they're also Panda dial.
See, this is really good for me because my daughter's asking me to get her Speedmaster for her birthday in October. So
So
these are they're not the original ones, right? You can get these as service styles.
So I think it was a limited run initially for like a specific department store. I think it might have been a Japanese release. There was, I think, 300 of them ish made, and then there's a lot of them that have the swaps to these Mitsukoshi dials. So I think they look awesome though.
Yeah, they're not super expensive if you get the service ones.
Is that the sapphire cut that way?
No, so it's a pie pan type dial. The dial itself, so here it is. It's like almost like a pie pan effect. Yeah. Okay. This is really nice. Yep. But Speedmaster for ladies, I mean, does she have like a bigger wrist? Because 42 is like, it's a big watch. The Speedmaster, like itself, right?
She's in her emo fit phase and wears all my watches. So,
okay.
Like, she's a baby Sasquatch.
And you let her? Yeah. What if she has like a moment of like teenage angst and she wants to like destroy all that her father represents, and she like smashes one of your watches in like a
Captain? That's going to happen anyway, and she'd come into my office to do it. Like one day that's going to happen anyway.
Oh my goodness! I get a bigger safe.
Right. But yeah, these are nice as well. I mean, I still prefer the CK2998 and the enamel dial over this, but yeah, these are nice also. Oh man, too many options, man, too many options.
Yeah, but it's not a Vacheron.
Yeah, it's not a Vacheron. That's the problem. I need to listen to Todd Levin's advice. Go for the anchor pieces, Build out the anchors. Okay, let me pull this up. Burbank Heart tried on a 5513, I believe it is.
Wow. No, that's not even my wrist. I'm sitting here doing like this meeting. We're like doing some equipment inspection, and this guy that's doing the inspection, I'm like, keep getting glimpses of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's an incredible Submariner. And after he finishes the inspection, there's like a group of probably like 10 dudes around, and like I just kind of walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, is that you got a 2-line sub there, right? And he's like, yeah, I saw I was wearing my Seamaster at the time. He's like, yeah, you got the Seamaster. He hadn't gotten to see one. Yeah, but he showed me this one. It's a 5513. Ended up buying it at an estate sale like years and years ago. So, yeah, it was amazing though. The dial on it is all faded, right? So it has that ghosted dial,
right?
And it was a meters first. So it says, the top, the text is Rolex, which is perpetual. Right. Then down below, it's the meters before the feet, which is unique. Yeah. Yep. And then the lowest line is Submariner. And then with the 5512, they didn't have, the 5512, I think they had a lot of the Kosk ones, but the 5513 were non-Kosk. So you have less text on the dial. But he wears this like his daily beater, and like it really showed. And it's gotten to the point where the bezel now, it won't even twist. He went into like a local Ben Bridge, which is like they're a multi-brand dealer, but they're a Rolex AD. Showed it to him, and they were like, "Oh, like we'd love to service this." And he's like, "No, you're not touching it." He had cracked the plexiglass crystal on it, so he got them there to swap to a service, replacement plexi crystal, but to do nothing else. And they're like, "Well, we can clean it up so it can spin." And he's like, "No, just don't touch it." Like he's just paranoid about it. But yeah, it was.
You just need a service, to be fair. Then the bezel will work fine.
But he's so afraid to like mess anything up on it. But the picture is just like with my iPhone, and the lighting wasn't perfect, but the fading on the dial is just amazing.
I think I would be afraid too, Captain, because I've heard so many nightmare stories. A colleague of mine, or a former colleague of mine, sent to JLCN and with very specific instructions, wanted basic functional service, and they replaced like tons of different things, right? Yeah, and they're like, "Oh no, we didn't charge you for it." And he's like, "That wasn't the effing.
That wasn't the point." Yeah.
So I would be afraid to.
And and like I mean, he's had it for a while, and he got.
Could he get it back? Could he get like the service parts back? Yeah. Once they get rid of it, it's finished, right? They kind of destroy the fucking thing. They probably have a bin in Rolex with like all these parts that are worth like tens of millions of dollars. They just keep
They're
everything. They're like, fuck
They-
you, flippers.
They're all like funneling them out the back door to
Right,
gray market
exactly.
dealers who are like selling these like
Right.
OEM pieces for a fortune. Yeah, but I didn't even ask because he's like I don't even, because he bought it several years ago, but since he got it at like an estate sale, he's like I don't even want to tell you like what I bought it for, and so it became like his daily beater because he's had it for years, got it for a great deal kind of before the run up. I don't know, maybe one day. It makes me want to start going to estate sales.
Ton of in Florida. Speaking of estate sales, ton of estate sales with fake Rolexes in Florida. Tons of them.
Here's a good question. Cars and Chrono asking, Speedy or Daytona or Zenith El Primero, all things equal? To me, it's pretty easy. I would do 321 Speedy all day, every day. And the retail price is similar to a Daytona. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd do a Speedy. I don't like the way that the Daytona wears on my wrist. Just me personally.
I would
We'll
get,
go with the Daytona for me.
I would get a good old 1970s Zenith.
That's interesting.
30,
what would you get?
36?
A386? A384?
I don't know exactly which one. If I can send you a link.
Sure. Because there's a couple, right, that they made. Like there's the A384, which has the funky kind of case. And then the A386, obviously that's your traditional kind of 38 mil.
I would be Zenith, Speedy, then Daytona, mostly because Daytona just doesn't sit on my wrist right at all.
Right. Oh yeah, it's true. Wait, which Zenith would you get? Which Zenith in particular?
If I was going to get a modern one, it would be the Chronomaster Sport.
Okay.
If I was going to get a modern one, yeah, it would be the Chronomaster Sport.
Have you seen they made a Zenith? Oh Jesus, Defy El Primero Panda. Yeah, that's the one. So they made this Defy Panda version. You might want to check this out. I think it's really, really nice. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. And it is bigger, like it's a bigger watch on the wrist. So this is on the strap.
Yeah.
I think these are really nice with the 1/10 of a second movement.
See,
You ever see this in person?
if I was going to get a Zenith right now, I would get one with 3 color subdials, right?
Yeah.
Again, I have my rules, and I've already got the Bremont that I'm never getting rid of, right? That has the Panda set up. I'm never getting rid of this watch, so I would get one of the Zeniths with the 3 color subdials. And they've got, that's their history, right? They've got 20 years of those.
Wait a second. Who made these rules where you have a Bremont that you can never get rid of? What's?
Oh no! So I have the one brand, right? One watch per brand, and then I'm trying to get. I'm trying to keep black and white and gradient motif right now. But the Bremont means something to me because I did C17 stuff, right? So that particular one is the C17 model. So that means something to me personally. But yeah, I'm not saying the Bremont is as good as a Speedy, Daytona, or Zenith. And sorry to my Bremont friends out there, I'm not. No.
There you go. I send the link.
Pull it up. Yep. So Tony asked an interesting question. I'll pull it up. Just give me 1 second. Interesting. Not something that you will see every day. It's very much like almost here. Let me just pull it up very quick. Almost like a TV dial or a TV case, Like those
This is how it was in 1970s.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I think
what's
it's
the
good.
reference on this? Is there a reference?
It is pretty.
Nope.
No reference. Let's see if we can find it.
Oh, I think it's 3019. Try
3019?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Interesting, man. These are interesting.
That is pretty.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
So they had because usually what you'll hear is original A384.
And their pushers don't look ridiculous on that one.
So it's not this one with
No.
the tricolor subdials. I'll just put vintage A384. That should be good.
I gotta admit that thing.
So there's some like these that have more tropical blended dials, but man, why can't I find this bloody thing? They have like the 3 different colored subdials with the funky case. But of course, when you want to find somebody something, you can never find it, or show somebody something you can never find. But yeah, here. So these were the ones. These are the ones, right? So they had the A384. It was this one. So they had the Panda, but they also had.
They had the star on the case back, right?
Yes, these had the star on the case back, right? Exactly.
Yeah. And
These
this
was the original
for the period.
Yeah, so that's the one that you'll usually hear people saying.
Yes, true.
That's an interesting off the beaten path pick. Yeah. Nice.
It's cool that a lot of the 70s styling is like coming back around again, and there's like a renewed interest in like 70s style.
Vaguely reminds me of that. It's the Speedmaster 125, I think.
Speedmaster 125. Let's pull it up.
I got to take off though, guys. Great stream, Marco.
Nice to see you.
Yep. These are nice. It also reminds me of
congrats again.
Tag Heuer did one of those like TV dial.
Thanks, man.
I forget what the name is though.
Dude, that's gigantic. What?
Yeah, this is pretty. This looks pretty big. Even Tag Heuer. Like the shape lends itself to a TV. I forget the name though. Or, hold on. Geez, it's only going to be these. I forget what the what the name is, but it's almost like a rectangle, but the edges are rounded. What is the bloody name? I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah, it's this rounded kind of case, very similar to that Speedy. Very interesting one. Let me try and find it. That's going to bother me. I need to find this bloody thing.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, so Jesus has been getting a lot of compliments in the chat, which are well deserved. So we've got to come up with a way to get him to cut his hair and shave for a charity.
That's a good one, actually.
Shaving, why not? I'm not cutting my hair.
How much is there? I don't think how much hair is back there right now? Like a whole skunk worth, raccoon?
Yeah.
Oh no,
that is long.
Like almost a meter. It goes under my butt.
How long has it been since you cut it?
I think it was 6 years ago. Last time I cut them.
Here you go. This is the one I was talking about.
6 or 7 years.
The Silverstone, kind of same TV type shape.
Yeah.
Ooh.
These were not too hot back in the day, but they're starting to come back. Tag Heuer makes some good ones. The Octavia chronographs. There's a couple that are really nice. I like these ones. I really like, especially on the bracelet. I think this looks great. Mm-hmm. And they did a really nice discrete date window at 6 o'clock, right in that subdial, so it tucks in really nicely. And then there's the Carrera chronographs that are really nice.
Hey, since we are talking about vintage watches, I posted it before, but what do you think about this? I just posted the link.
Let me pull it up. Oh yeah, Universal Genève. There's some good stuff. I mean, they did some good stuff.
This is hidden gems.
Yeah, big time.
Whoa.
Vintage is a minefield. Is the only problem, and you don't know what you're getting oftentimes.
Oh my god, I got to go find my uncle's. I think I have that watch.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the watches
they are beautiful.
It's awesome. I love these to register chronos. That's what it's all about, guys.
So good looking.
Oh, here we go. Bear says, I have that Octavia on the bracelet and strap. Let me know how it is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Little 79 reminding everybody to upvote. Yes, please, guys. Please be sure. We're 25 likes away, guys. 25 likes. Please, please, please. Look at this. Bear
Houdinki crap.
Universal Genève Houdinki crap. To be fair, Ben Clymer was the one who started spruiking these. Especially those Panda ones. Man, those Panda Universal Genèves are just impossible to get nowadays. The chronographs, obviously, I'm talking.
Doesn't Federico have one of those watches?
No idea.
The tri-compacts are very expensive, and
Yeah,
also
those have gone
the divers.
These ones right here.
The divers are very expensive.
These are so expensive now. They're like 25,000 expensive. They're expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's good looking though.
it's gorgeous. I love these.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bear has against these watches. I think these are awesome.
That one, I don't know. That one looks too commodity for me.
Too sorry? Say that
Too
again?
commodity.
Yeah, I mean, listen, don't forget that these are from like what, the 80s, 70s, 80s, maybe even before that, right? Because it was pre-quartz crisis.
Mhm.
So, I mean, these are older chronographs, right?
The subdial hands are actually pretty cool though. Wings, what do you? Is that a UV? That's not a UV because I can see it. You got your EDC flashlight in your hand.
No, it's my vape. I'm trying to quit smoking.
Oh, I'm sitting here. I'm wondering, like, he's trying to signal to us. Is it like in distress?
No.
We don't have a code word.
No.
Like, should we call the cops?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to quit smoking. I feel a lot better with this rather than cigarettes. So, one step at a time.
Right. By the way, speaking of the SIGs, we just want to give a shout out to our guy, Stefano. I hope he's doing well. And
Tomorrow's the big day for him, right?
yeah, tomorrow's the big day, so we're pulling for him. I'm going to wrap this up in about 8 minutes, guys. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. Thank everybody for coming on. Thank all the people who joined. Look at this. Bear Clooney's trolling me in the chat. He's saying it's too thick. Talking about the Heuer chronograph that I pulled up, the Octavia one. That you would not like it. You have the PAM as a crappy watch already. So as a good friend, I can't recommend Tag Heuer. Oh, he's trolling in the chat now.
Hey, Toyota Mo, are you in a better connectivity spot now?
After
No,
show, I don't think anybody's
It's
doing
still
that.
pretty shitty. I mean, it's the reception. Even hearing you guys is pretty bad right now.
All right. Well,
It's
next
really
time
windy
you're able to get
outside for
on, I'd
some
love to
reason.
see a wrist shot of that.
Oh yes, you
Oh,
should
for
give us a
sure.
wrist shot.
Absolutely.
Can you give us
For
one
sure, I
now?
will. I can't. I put my watch away. Actually, I'm eating a salad right now too.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, he's
Look-
actually no here. I can pull up the Instagram wristwatch shots that you sent. You don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, perfect. Let me pull it up. Hold on one second. I gotta be careful. I don't want to reveal anybody's info or any DMs they sent me. Here we go.
Yeah, don't reveal none of our shit talking.
Right, exactly. Here we go.
Oh, that looks so good.
Mm. That's good looking.
Even with the red indicator, it still looks gorgeous. The blue, oh my god, is even better. But
I really
It
love
is,
those
it's nice.
hands.
so incredible.
I don't know, the hands.
The hands are so
Marco,
thin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love those.
Marco, I sent you a picture of the blue one maybe about a month ago. I don't know if you still have that one. That's not in the group chat. That's the one from me to you.
Say that again, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I sent you the picture of the one with the blue about a month ago. That's not in the Three Amigos chat
Oh,
on
shit.
IG.
You sent it to me on Instagram, right?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Okay, let me get a picture. Let me see.
That's a pretty watch.
It is a very pretty watch, like with the red especially.
Yeah, and
Like it
the
really works.
blue dead center layered, like the layered cake blue set dead center under the hands, and those hands are so precise.
So I will admit, telling the time takes a little adjusting too. Yeah, the hands are really thin, but it's all good.
Yeah.
You'll make do.
Here we go. Here it is. Da-da. Oh, that's the one for me. The blue is awesome. But
Yeah,
can't go wrong
I'm
either
still
way.
I'm still with the red on. I'm still with the red on that one, but
hold on. We
I
got
can barely
Carlos
adjust
saying
myself
Mrs. Head out, so he's gonna hop on. So jump on, man. If you want to jump
Yeah.
on, we'll keep the show going. I'm always
Or an after stream.
So Tim Masso actually did a review on this watch about a couple years ago. So it was the one with the red track and a blue strap. I was like, wow, that actually looks really good. So I'm planning to order a blue strap for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it done.
Let's see if I can find the video you're talking about.
Yeah,
Is
there's not too many videos about the 1942.
Right.
Is it
unfortunately.
white gold or steel? Is it?
It's steel. It's steel.
Okay.
Here it is. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. I like this a lot. This
Look at
looks-
that.
No, it's good.
The
That
blue
looks
the
really
strap in the hands, it pulls everything together. I think you might be right, man. This looks awesome.
There's just enough.
They're both beautiful, stunning either way, but I'm on team right. I mean, listen, it's that's why what make watches so great, right? It's very personal, like one-to-one type basis. That's what it's all about, you know? Not everybody will share in the taste. But yeah, I think, listen, either or, you can't go wrong with it. Oh, no, man, what are you doing to me? Now I'm thinking I got to save the sub for the 1942 or just go all out for the corner. Maybe I'll just go.
I mean, let's be
Forget.
honest. So the 1942 is a $22,000, right? At full retail. Now you could probably pick one up at a really good price for around
Top limit.
17 David SW style, you know, in really good condition. So it is achievable. Just
Right.
throwing that out there.
Just do it, Marco. Just
We got
get
the Jags coming in. It's gonna be. You know who's gonna like listening to that is Todd Levin, who's actually in the chat. Is the first coming in. My favorite chronos are AP from 1940s.
Hey, Ted, I got a little Stan Getz and the Oscar Pearson trio for you tonight, man. Is it too loud? Tell me if it's too loud.
No, we can't even hear it, to be honest. You turned it down. They kind of. This is not.
Good one.
Hold on. Yes, these are the. Oh, interesting.
These are the enamel dial ones as well. Or?
5503 and the 5560. So these are the. I think these have a pink gold bezel, like steel undercase and lugs, right? If I'm not mistaken. I might be totally wrong. These are nice. AP doesn't make stuff like this no more. And what's the other one? The 551.
Oh, look at the perpetual on the gold bracelet. That one was gorgeous as well.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of this. I got to be honest with you, Todd. I think this is fugly. This is too old fashioned. Like,
You know, but Todd, he has his own taste and style. You know his style, right?
even by my standards, this is just too old style. Like, way too old style. The first one I really liked.
I don't know. I like this one. I like that other picture. I guess the other just inverted picture next to it. I don't know. I like this one. As far as vintage watches go, I really like this one actually.
I prefer the first one.
Oh no, the first one I prefer. Yeah, I prefer the first one.
This is way now.
But I would. You said this is fugly. I'm not. You're right. They just don't. They don't make watches like that
the
anymore.
left subdial has 3 different hands. So, that's interesting.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Hold on.
Yeah.
Why does it have 3 different hands? There must be a reason, right? Little, I can't pull this up, unfortunately. You have to send it to me in a different format, like not in a disappearing message. Otherwise, I can't pull it up. Look at this. Ali Reza is saying, I feel like we should have a cigar indoors right now.
That's why.
Hell yeah.
Listen, the jazz music is so. I might go to bed, to be honest.
Hey, congrats again, Ali, man. That's awesome. Awesome freaking season.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
like prehistoric, outdated. It's like I know he's definitely trolling right now. Definitely trolling.
Yeah, but Todd, you look at his collection, man. There's definitely consistency, right, in terms of his overall philosophy as well, right? So, hey, Burbing, I'm on, man. I'm here, bro.
Todd saying these AP chronos are either literally piece unique or very small runs of 5 to 10. Very rare, very unique, each made for a specific client at their specific. Right, and that's what I was discussing earlier, kind of at the beginning of the show, right? Is that like only the high people of like the highest social order, right? We're talking doctors, politicians, like the most important people in the world would be able to order pieces like these. Were not like chronographs were, besides like minute repeaters, right? I mean, the most maybe as prestigious as minute repeaters back in the day, right? Just because they couldn't make that many, right? The problem was there were so few watchmakers who could actually make chronographs. It's kind of the same story with the Chronovache with VC. There's maybe like 30 to 50 in the world, I think, total, right, of those vintage references.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're talking super rare, like the rarest of the rare.
So, that brings me back to I was chatting earlier about the Cabinet from Vacheron, right? So they have this whole service dedicated to building out basically these one-of-a-kind piece uniques. Like once they make it, they won't make it for anyone else. It's just one of ones, like right off the
Right.
Prince. Yeah, Prince is good, man. Sometimes I want to rock out to Prince.
I did say that on there, man. You have to say that on
the other
there.
way around. I only play jazz and classical on vinyl because you want to hear it from beginning to end. But for different albums, like you pick the songs you want, right? So you want to skip through them quickly. But jazz and classical, you go all the way through. I mean, there's a lot of songs that I like from Prince, so I want to get through them very quickly, man.
I'm going to drop the link if Todd wants to join on, or anybody else for that matter. Happy to.
Yeah, sorry, I know you wanted to bounce in 8 minutes.
Hey, no worries, man. I'm happy to stay on. Hold on, let me pull this up. I just got a Lamagna chronograph. So these are pretty rare also. The pretty rare. They're not that rare, right? You could probably find them, but I mean, interesting also. Try sub-dial layout. I like them. Very nice.
Hands?
Yeah, they're like alpha style hands.
It's nice.
It's interesting. Here, let's look this up. Lamagna. Yeah, so they made quite a few of these, to be fair. There's there's a lot of variety of these. Obviously, Lamagna is best known for the movements, right? So
Guys, I know we're talking about chronos. If anybody's into chronos, check this one out. Awesome collectible on 150 steel chronographs. And they have a lot of the classic chronos in here. You get a little bit of story on them as well.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Pieces.
Which one is that, Cars?
Yeah, so this one's called 150 Steel Chronographs by Farrow. Great coffee table book. It comes in this massive cardboard container, which is in and of itself really cool. But it walks you through kind of the history, the genesis, and the evolution of how we got to these modern chronos.
Interesting. It's a big book, man.
Actually, one other one since we're on the topic. So it's called Vacheron as well. This is for any Vacheron fans out there.
Ooh.
This is an
That's
amazing
nice.
collectible for Vacheron.
What's the name of that book?
So I was
Artists of
this was
Time.
actually a gift from the boutique, but I suspect you could probably find it online as well. But this is amazing. Like the entire history of Vacheron leading up to your even the common pieces right now as well.
And what are you wearing on the wrist? Is that a 5980 that I see?
Oh yeah.
I guess you heard the chrono talks. You had to come on with a chronograph. There we go.
That
Oh.
really inexpensive on a Libris. It's like $40.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's it. Wrap it up, Marco.
Yeah, I think we got to wrap it up on that note, guys. Thank you for joining us.
But I know that I see some chat around banging stuff. Like I'll take this anywhere, man. I'll bang the crap out of this. It's like it's a philosophy around not having material goods own you, right? It's I talk to a lot of my friends are car owners, and you heard this term garage queens, where they're afraid to get it scratched. Like the amount of times my cars have been just dinged up, and somebody took a pipe to one of my cars, completely had to redo. Yeah, I mean that's a whole separate story. But
did you find the guy at least?
no, you'll never find them. I mean, you just see sitting around, and you come in and somebody just takes a steel rod and puts a dent to it, but it's just like, you got to roll with it, right? What are you going to do, right? It's you don't want.
I had to go drop my wrecked car off at the salvage yard, the one I was just next. Look at that.
Yeah, I do want to address the super chat as well from Wings and Watches, helping me with the stitching on the corn de vache, saying for the VC, just do it.
Just do it, man. Treat yourself.
Yeah, I gotta enjoy it. Life's too short.
Exactly. You gotta you're gonna own these watches. What's the point of just babying the things, right? Like
I haven't taken a dip in the pool with this though. So I got to do that. I got to jump because these are supposed to be waterproof.
Don't do that.
See, that's the only thing that I've worn all my watches working on anything, but the only thing I haven't done is I'll only take certain watches into the Gulf, like salt water and like the EP. No, I'm not even risking it.
Yeah, it's also very humid, right? That's the problem. It's like it actually deteriorates your rubber gasket, so it's actually quite a risk, to be fair, to even go in the water with those. And let's be honest, listen, when we're talking about Trinity, right? They might be water resistant, but they're still delicate instruments. You know what I mean? Like these are not Rolexes or Omegas or Blancpain. You know what I mean? It's like
that's fair. Actually, that's a fair point. Because and when you go into the movements as well, right? There are certain type of movements where they're just notorious for they'll go off kilter, right? The Daytona movements as well. The escapements, like they're really nasty.
The Denton escapements?
Yeah.
We're talking Urban Jurgensen Denton escapement? The Derek Pratt Denton? See, that's one I still know nothing about. Denton escapement. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
With your little blade. Well, you're the watch caller. You got to get educated on this.
I know. I know of it. I don't know much about it, right? Yes. You want to talk? You want to speak about it? I know Derek Pratt made it, right, for Urban Jurgensen, if I'm not mistaken. And there was another watchmaker. I think it was like Chronode or something like that. I forget what the name is.
Listen, I'm not deep into. The only thing what I studied about it was so you have the coaxial, right? You have the lever, and then done. Basically, it's supposed to reduce friction, right? Because it's basically a little blade that keeps the jewel in place, and the jewel escapement is going back and forth. It's a little flick. But it's like prone to just getting beat up here.
Well, let me take a look. I want to see if there's like a visual of it. Oh, here we go. There's a video. Let's play the video.
And there's a really cool video I was watching on George Daniels on how he described the coaxial escapement. Because whenever you read about, sometimes I don't know about you guys. Whenever I start reading about these movements, like the words don't really translate to the visualization, but there was a really cool way that George Daniels actually explained how the coaxial works. You can pull this up.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so you see that little thin blade. Yeah. So that's really prone to shocks as well. Right? If you kick the watch, it'll actually take it off kilter. And that was the biggest issue, but it reduces friction and wear and tear on the escapement as well.
So here's my thing, right? How does this compare to the coaxial versus even
So here's the perfect way that George Daniels explained. So I'm not taking any credit. I just watched this video.
Right.
So basically with a regular lever escapement, if you look at the escapement and how it interacts with the lever, it's basically the friction is a sliding friction.
Yeah.
So if you look at the escapement, right? What the coaxial does is really what's called coaxial. It's actually two gears. So you have the main, right, escapement, and then you have another cog, which are basically on the same axis, and you have three basically pallets. Rather than having this sliding friction, they call it radial, where the third pallet is like a swinging door. It basically lightly, gently touches the cog, which reduces the friction. That's the basic. I mean, that's how we explain the difference between the coaxial versus the.
What the fuck just happened? Hold on a second. We got Burping with the $2 saying thoughts and prayers for our man Stefano. We got Moss. Thank you very much to Burping. We got Mossy with the $2 saying great show tonight, Marco. Prayers for Stefano. Yeah, I agree. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with him. Thank you to Birmingham and to Mossy. And I spoke with him today. He felt like he was a little bored, obviously, because he's at the hospital. There's not much to do at the hospital. But he was okay. He was good spirits. So
he's got a charger because he's posting memes like crazy on Gray Market.
Right. We got Toyota Mo with the $50 VC for the win. That's what it's all about. I'm going to put this towards the Anchor Fund, guys. The Anchor Fund. And I'm slowly working my way up one side of the stitching of one strap for the corn de vache. Slowly but surely we'll get there. Toyota Mo, that's extremely generous, man. Congrats to you on the new purchase. And I'm extremely jealous, man. That 1942 is incredible.
Oh man, no, for sure, man. I was just happy to share it with you guys, and you'll definitely get it. You'll get it, Marco. You'll definitely get your PC one day, man.
Listen, I'm in no rush. I'm only 22. What am I going to do with that?
Exactly. I mean, you just saw me at 22. I was that's another story.
Right. Listen, I have plenty of time. I'm not worried. But thank you very much for the $50. And then we have Ali Reza with $133. You didn't have to do this.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
You guys are nuts. Anchor, fun, go for the grail, do it. Yeah, I think there's no question. No deviating off the path. Just gotta keep the narrow one-track mind. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much, Totomo and Ollie. You guys are extremely generous. But yeah, man, this is the one thing. Like escapements, hairsprings. This is the fine. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? It's not my.
I'm telling you, but once you get into there, I mean, that is really the layers in the onion. I mean, that's where you really start understanding the beauty of these movements and how you can start contrasting, comparing these different movements.
It's the ingenuity
more than numbers. You hear about the adjectives and how they describe. But once you really get into the nitty gritty, you really start appreciating the technology behind it. And it is technology.
I just want to pull this up. He says, "Forget the VC by Daniel's coax."
Omega, man, they got that speed, right? The racing. You can pick one of those up.
So Todd just made it. Carr is absolutely correct. And now Smith has further refined the Daniels coaxial by mounting both sprockets on one pin and making it even more efficient. Yeah, so he was even talking about the other day, right, that Smith is working with nano lubricants that can increase the service intervals up to 50 years, which is crazy.
Well,
I mean, 50-year service interval. I know of 10, right? So Smith was talking, what's that, New York Horological Society or whatever it's called? He was doing a presentation there, right? And he was talking about one of the first watches he ever made was about 10 years ago. It came back in for service and was running at plus or minus 3 seconds, which is, I mean, for a 10-year-old watch is nothing, right? So it goes to show you. But I just want to circle back to Toyota Mo with the $50 and Ollie. Thank you guys again. Jesus, you guys are fucking absolutely mental. I don't even know what to say. Look at this. Todd just saying, just strapped on my Daniels anniversary in honor of her combo. Man, I didn't see this. Can you come on the show? Let me drop the link. I need to see this on the Riz because these are not pieces that you will see every day. Bear saying good night. Thank you very much for joining. Take care, my man. Thanks for the recommendation. Can't wait. Looks beautiful. Oh, just order the Vacheron book. Very cool, man. Very cool. I got to get one.
I just did from Alibris too. I ordered the book too.
Peruka said should go straight for the carry. I mean, listen, let's not get crazy here, guys. Come on. Let's not get crazy. Oh, man. Hey, no worries, Toyota Mo. Take care. But yeah, so one that's interesting, right, is Moser because they're starting to do those removable, what's it called, escapements. That's interesting, right? Because it reduces the overall service intervals. They're also making the hairsprings, so it's the Straumann hairsprings or whatever they're called. Absolutely crazy. These are the stuff I was getting into before I went back in time. So I'm starting to go back researching mainly marine chronometers, clocks, because those are important, right? To understand.
Well, that Daytona escapement was from marine chronometers. That's where it originally was applied. That was the original application for it.
Sorry, say that one more time. Which escapement?
That Daytona,
the Den escapement. Yeah.
The Den. Yeah, it's called Den. Yeah, Daytona American.
Same.
Yeah, but that was originally from the marine pieces out in the ocean, so it wasn't as big of an issue.
We got a great question here from D. Gillings with a $5 super chat saying Marco and crew a Pinion on the ALS 1815 up down in white gold. I mean,
I like it.
there's
Thumbs
not
up.
much to say. I mean, what do you want me to say? This is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Listen, I will be honest. I prefer the rose gold. Let me pull this up. Hold on one second. I do prefer the rose gold because I like the contrast of the rose gold case with the blued hands.
Oh wow.
It's my preference personally, but I think this is absolutely gorgeous. What else is there to say?
Yeah.
I mean, this is timeless luxury.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't get past the price points on the Langes.
But pre-owned, they're a good bargain. Pre-owned, they're a good bargain.
Right now,
It
they
depends on
still
the
are.
piece, Marco, and pre-owned as well, right? Because they have been creeping up.
They're creeping up big time. He's asking, "What's your opinion, Cars and Chrono?" He doesn't care about me. He wants to know the expert's opinion.
On what? On this?
Yeah, on this.
Yeah, I was never. So here's the thing. There are a couple of 1850. I'm not a big fan of this one, but for me, it was really the chronographs and perpetual until I couldn't read shit off of the dial every time I had it out on the wrist.
Right.
Yeah, but for me, that out of their entire collection, and I'm not a big fan of the Odysseus either, by the way. I think that's a really big cash grab and the whole stainless steel trend. And I've seen that in person. It wasn't all that impressive, but the double splits and this movement of the double splits, and we spoke about this ad nauseum. I mean, they're just freaking incredible, right? And you can say what you will about Patek finishing, and other movements, but man, that double split, I mean, you just get lost in the depth. When you see it in person, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen it, it goes so deep, right? And you put it under a loop. I mean, it's just remarkable.
So I saw the datograph movement, right? So the 1815 chronograph, same principle, but the depth on that doesn't even, like, it's already pretty deep. So I can just imagine like the depth on the double split, right? Because you see basically the whole movement, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly it, right? You're absolutely right. You can see entire movement, but it is. I mean, that's one thing. The one negative perspective they've had on that piece is it's a huge piece on your wrist, right? As people say, it's like a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Marco,
so let me ask
Marco.
your opinion, right? Or we can go around the panel. Right? Sorry, does somebody have a question?
Yeah. Did you see the video where they were looking into the datograph movement with a microscope?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think it was Swiss Watch Gang.
Yeah, that's a great.
We do that for a few pieces,
That was
actually.
crazy.
Yeah. It's
That was
pretty
great.
crazy.
The guy was so shocked, right? The guy with the microscope. It was funny
That
to
was
see.
beautiful.
So let me ask the panel, right? What would you buy this in white gold? Because they're similar price, maybe a little bit more expensive on the second one that I'm going to mention. It's the Lange one, right? Which is I would say maybe a bit more iconic than this. Would you go for this or the Lange one?
Equal in white gold.
Yeah, or rose gold or whatever.
I would choose this one. This is really a gorgeous watch.
I mean, listen, that's fair. No question about it.
I think I would go with the Lange one.
Yeah, same here. I think I'm with you. I would go Lange one as well.
I mean, I don't like the longer one, so I take this one.
Okay, fair enough. And cars?
I think I already gave you guys my assessment.
Wait, which one would you go for?
Between what, this or any Lange, or?
Yeah, the Lange one. The Lange one.
No, probably this over the Lange one, though.
For real, you don't like the Lange one?
I
Are you
can't
kidding?
stand the Lange one.
You're
Hold on,
kidding. Why?
I gotta swap out the vinyl. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He laughs and walks away like
Dodging the question.
that
Right,
is
he
a
dodged the
condemnation
question
right
so
there.
much. Yeah. Actually, I don't know of any chronograph minute repeaters. Let me look this up. Not off the top of my head. Zenith. Okay. AP. I guess there's a lot of them. Oh yes, this is definitely a chronograph.
Yeah.
This is
Grand Con.
this was showcased by what's his name?
Roman
Roman,
Sharp.
right?
Yeah.
Here's another one, Monopusher minute repeater. Oh yeah, so there's a couple. There's many actually. There we go. Chronograph minute repeaters. But I mean, Thing is I don't know about you guys. I think minute repeaters are totally useless, frankly speaking. Like, listen, they're cool and interesting, and they're one of the most complicated watches and the most difficult to make watches. But what's the point? I mean, I don't connect with them.
Well, it's like, what's the point of the tourbillon, right? I mean, what's the point?
There is no point of a tourbillon, not the modern tourbillon.
It's pretty.
Other
And
than
people
the
like the
group.
sound of minute repeaters. They just like
Right.
the way it sounds.
Right. Other than Grubel and DeJourn's vertical turb, right? Other than those pieces, there's really no point for them. Yeah. They're just nice, exactly.
But we're on the Lange one, right? So you guys think about the Lange one. It just feels like they plopped down a whole bunch of complications, like with no rhyme or reason on that dial. It's just so weird.
What do you mean? It's a triangle. Look. It's the triangle, the perfect symmetrical triangle.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, to me, if I'm gonna get a Lange, I'm getting this one because it's the quintessential like German Lange design.
Right.
But I'm not. I just in general don't like the Langes.
Hey, I'm with you. I don't blame you. It's just not my favorite. I'm going to be honest. I prefer
it's not mine. Yeah, I
the
hear
Swiss
you.
are just so much nicer with mine, but the dials, the cases, they're so much more emotionally evocative, emotionally appealing. Like they just pull at my heartstrings more.
Well, they're definitely emotionally evocative because of the way Carson Chrono reacted. Emotion for sure.
You know, because a lot of these, I mean, if you're going to get down to the movements and some of the heritage, I mean, all right, I'm not going to argue that, right? But I'm just saying some of these are also, my philosophy on these watches, like you spoke about seeing with Todd, it's 80-20. 80% of you buying a watch, at least in my experience, the moment you see it, you know if you like it or not. And the 20% is you rationalizing either why you like it or you don't like it. The heritage, the design, the movement, the price points. But the moment you see the watch, it's like people, when you see it in that blink, right? That's how we've evolved as humans. That whole concept around blink, like instinctively if there's something there or not for you. I mean, at least in my experience, right? And that was
no. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
What's the last watch where you got this emotion when you saw it?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one actually I'm going to be hopefully unboxing the community, where the moment I saw it, I don't want to give away too much because I think it'll be a really fun stream. But the moment I saw it, there was just an instinctive, like emotive reaction. Because it goes back also to a lot of what I'm interested in as a hobby, right? And I always talk about how watches are a manifestation of your values, how you view yourself in the world, how you want to be portrayed and conveyed in the world. And there was a piece that I saw that really spoke to a hobby that I've been passionate about for a long time, where, wow, it just made sense. And I know for a fact that the vast majority in the community will look at it, and if they'll think about the price point, there's going to be a lot of punters talking about, oh, for that price, I would have gotten X, Y, and Z, which is fine. But this is where it comes down to, for me, it's not about why other people like it. It's what I enjoy about it. I'm not doing it because there's a hype piece, because this absolutely is not a hype piece. This is a piece that is very near and dear to me. It's not because other people, I'm not looking for acceptance, but it's something I'm super passionate about. Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't really answer your question.
No, it's fine if you want to keep it.
That's going to be an interesting stream, by the way. I still got to read up and do my homework. Yeah,
but I'm hearing, Marco, it feels like people are saying you're monopolizing all the unboxings. I have to wonder if I have to go to another stream.
No, don't do that.
Maybe like JJ.
Let me send you an exclusive contract, okay? Let me send you.
Maybe for Perth Luxury, he might be able to talk about it.
Todd, I've been saying the Lange one in stainless is the only Lange. I mean, yeah, but that's ridiculous. Like the ridiculous money at this point. Like,
but he wants to go for that peak, that pinnacle. That's his thing. He always wants to go for that peak.
The anchor that all Lange pieces after that just fall. But the thing is that's interesting, right? So we're mentioning the Lange one, but I would say the data graph is probably more important than a Lange one.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, right? It's the first in-house chronograph, that was made in, we're talking about decades, right? Like high horology in-house chronograph. And it completely took the Swiss by storm. So it's interesting that we make the longer one out to be the apex, the apex predator or the alpha.
Well, what I'm referring to Apex is in terms of Todd's collecting philosophy, right? He's spoken a few times around if he gets a piece, he wants that one best piece, right? The best version, the original, the OG, right? If it's the first iteration of that piece.
But I mean, there's even like here, let me pull up like a couple, right? So, no, and I get that. I appreciate that, right? But
the Jacob and Co. No, Todd. Please don't say it isn't so. So I had a chance in Vegas to pick one of those up a few years ago, and I mean it's gone up substantially since then, and it's pretty, but man, I always now like every time I see it, it reminds me of producer Michael. I don't have anything against, by the way, producer Michael, but no, Todd. Actually, that's a little bit out of left field. I wouldn't have expected you liking that, or unless he's being sarcastic. Could be a little.
I think he's definitely being sarcastic.
Okay, all right. I think he might be. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
This is the one. Like, look at this. To me, like, if you're gonna go for any F-off,
is that the pour le mérite?
Yes. No. So that's not a pour le mérite.
Oh.
This is the honey gold homage to F.A. Lange tourbillon perpetual chrono. From like, to me, that's like the apex because it's a perpetual calendar chronograph, split second. It's got a tourbillon, but it's also got like the honey gold, which is their proprietary blend, and the dial is super interesting and unique. And they only made like a couple pieces of these. Like we're talking probably in the tens, right? So like the steel ones, I know they made a couple hundred, right? So like, and again, it comes back to that argument, right? What's more important? But listen, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Todd Levin's definitely an astronomia guy, no question. Can you imagine Todd wearing a George Daniels Millennium on one wrist, and then on the other wrist he's got a Jacob and Co.
The one with the roulette wheel. That might be a better one.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a great one. Oh man.
CJ above asks a question, right? What makes a piece near and dear?
That's a good question. Very good question. What do we think?
Carson Chrono kind of, if he doesn't mind indulging with expanding on his answer.
Yeah, so I think about my collection. I would say out of them, there are very few that I would characterize as near and dear, right? So number one, I've mentioned this a few times. There's a motive component to it. When you get beyond the design and aesthetics, there's value, right? So I think about, I have 3 pieces I still have from when I started collecting in high school. I don't take credit for still having them. My parents saved them for me, right? There was a Baumann Mercier, a Movado. I mean, this small, tiny 34 mil Movado as a Tag Heuer Kyrian. And these are near to dear to me because it brings me back to a time when I didn't even know jack about watches, right? And the fact that I still have these pieces, I mean, this is forever the inception of the journey. And the latest one being the Rolex that my wife gave me. In terms of, but so beyond the emotive component, pieces that are now that I would characterize near dear, I would probably also subscribe to this concept around rarity and scarcity, right? And it's not so much around hoarding, right? I know there's a philosophy around hoarding and having stuff that other people can't have. It's more around, we as humans do cherish scarcity and rarity. I mean, there's, for better or for worse, things that are rare, and the journey for you to acquiring such a rare piece in and of itself, manifests itself in the watch, right? And I have a few pieces in my collection. I'll give you an example. I know this one that Marco often brings up, that F. Pigeon, the Chronometer Optimum, the black label, right? And that's the culmination of a very long period of collecting. And it's a piece that's very near and dear because of that journey that culminated me getting that piece, right? And that's an example, though, more that doesn't necessarily have the emotive component, but that journey that, basically got me to acquiring a piece like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit in terms of how I view.
Wings, what about you?
Yeah. Let's go around the panel for this.
For me, yeah, like Carr said, it's got to be a representation of who you are, right? For me, it doesn't have to be the most expensive watch. It doesn't have to be the most hyped up watch. If it's tied to you in some way, if it projects who you are, that's one factor. But again, there's the aspect of thinking outside of the box and being different when it comes down to everything in life. It makes you a unique individual. So MBNF, to me, embodies that, right? You know, they think outside the box. Their futuristic design, just the way that they approach horology in a whole is something to be admired. And then, you know, all the other micro brands. So for me, it's having the value in something that I know is special to me is probably one of the most important things. So,
do you have an example of a near and dear piece in your collection right now?
Yeah, my Speedmaster. So when I was younger, every single time that I looked up in the stars, it's thinking about possibilities, right? Always wanting to go to the moon, loving the stars, and watching, you know, documentaries about the astronauts, and always wanting to have the Omega watch, the one watch that was up in orbit, right? So no matter if times were good, times are tough, it was just like looking up. It's like, you know what? I'm going to get this watch one day, and being able to achieve that is probably the best part of it. I don't care if it holds value. It holds value to me. And sad to say, I've dinged the bezel already, but it's sacrificial. So it is what it is. But that's one of the things that I'm going to hold on forever.
That's cool.
Jesus, you're up.
Yeah, you know, well, obviously I'm going to say something quite similar, but you know what I think is very sad is when people, they always talk about these watches that gains value because they don't like the watch, they like the money that's behind it. I mean, you wanted an example of a piece that is very near and dear to me. It's this guy. So this is a JLC triple calendar in platinum.
Oh, wow.
It's a limited edition of 250 pieces. And to be honest, it's not that hard to get. It's not very expensive. I did buy it overpriced though. So I bought this, I think it was $12,000. But I have seen places where it was sold down to 6,000. But, you know, as we were talking before, you know, when I saw this, I fell in love immediately. And I knew that this was a watch for me, right? And I don't care if I lost value. I don't care if I cannot sell it over 10,000. I don't care if I lose money because I don't want to sell it. This is a watch that is now part of my life that I will keep for myself, or I will gift it to a kid when it happens. But you know, it's to, you know, that emotion that you when you bond with your watch.
Mm-hmm.
That is something very important.
Yeah.
And not just thinking about, oh, but will it in the future, will I be able to sell it? You know, don't think about this because this is distractions. It's a distraction that keeps you from enjoying your watch. And you were saying, I have made a pretty big gouge right there, and it feels like a scar on my heart. But you know, this is how it is. And there you go.
We got Rez with the $5 very quickly. Jesus, sorry, I'm choking. I'm dying. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Rez with the $5 saying, could it be the dopamine and the reward zone? So I think that's definitely, if I can give my 2 cents, I think one part of it, right, what makes a watch special and rare, I mean, it's something that Nico talked about when chasing vintage watches, right? So there might be that vintage watch out there in perfect minty condition, in pristine condition from an original owner that has this incredible story attachment that you chase for, 10, 20, 30 years. And then one day you finally stumble upon it. It's just like, shit, that's such a sentimental piece because I've been chasing this for so long. And I just now found it in the exact example that I wanted to. That's one way to think about it. But that kind of ties into the rarity aspect, right? So it might not be sentimental because of the emotional connection you have with the watch, more so with the rarity of it and how long it kind of took you to find it. But I think another aspect is, the emotion that you attach to it based on life events, right? For me, it's got to be this watch right here, right? I mean, it's the watch the community got for me. It's the watch that symbolizes the hard work, the years that I put into studying and looking into watches, and finally building up the courage to make a channel, and then having people, on that night embrace me in such a way that I remember it forever.
Yep.
To me, that's what really makes a watch special, right? It's really the essence of the watch. It has nothing to do with it being a Rolex or Steel or GMT, because it could have been any watch that I picked, right? It just happened to be that was the one I wanted, but it was really that moment that was captured in this watch that I'll have forever. And that's what really makes, in my opinion, a piece sentimental. Sure, part of it is the dopamine rush of the purchase and the reward zone of finding maybe that perfect piece that you always wanted. But to me, it's more so the things that went into the purchase, right? The buying story, how it was acquired, the story behind why you like that watch, the history of the piece, ultimately why you decided to choose that over the thousands of other watches. I mean, all these things connect together to create why that piece is special for you, and ultimately, make it a watch that's a forever watch,
Yeah.
But I just want to this just very quickly. We got SLC watch club, $100. Thank you so much. You guys are nuts. Thank you very much for your generosity. Saying love Chronos. First was a Seiko Sportura Kinetic. Let me pull these up. Seiko Sportura Kinetic. Jeez, man. You know what these remind me of, actually? This is funny. This reminds me of, you guys ever seen that Vianney Halter perpetual calendar? This kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
This ain't too bad.
Dude, that's like a Flash Gordon watch, man.
Yeah.
This is
Flash
interesting.
piloting.
This is so interesting. Then a Seiko helmet. Let's look up a Seiko helmet.
It's kind of like a.
Let's see. Can you drop in the chat? Do you still have these pieces?
Yeah, let us know if you still have these pieces. Seiko helmet chronograph. Okay, interesting, with the hidden kind of crown.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Black. So then he says Panda Daytona, Black Daytona. I think those are pretty self-explanatory. And then a Patek 5960G. Whew.
Wow.
That's a watch.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah, that's impressive.
that's a hell of a journey. Man, we were discussing chronos in pretty great detail, right, earlier, and we kind of obviously now just kind of talking about anything and anything. But yeah, listen, I mean, I discussed this earlier. Chronos are probably one of, if not the most prestigious complications, right? The people who owned these kind of watches, right, 20, 30, 100 years ago, right, were the highest social class out there. And man, these are like chronographs from Patek, from Vacheron, from Independence, from, I mean, any of these higher horology brands, even, you related to a Daytona, although they're technically mass produced, right? The story of that watch, right? How it was a failure and it didn't end up going to space ultimately, right? Because it's the Cosmograph Daytona, and obviously how it became connected with the Daytona kind of race. I think all these chronographs are so special out there, and man, they're really starting to consume my attention. That's not a good thing, because they're freaking expensive, let me tell you. But SLC Watch Collector, thank you very much for the $100. It's extremely generous of you. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about my rant about what makes a watch special.
Yeah.
Ali, you have to give your take on what makes a watch.
Actually, but before we do, Dr. Levin posted something about.
Yeah, we should
kids
really
near
call
and
him
dear.
Dr. Levin. I call him Todd like he's my best friend. Like, I'm sorry. Let me give him the proper respect. He does have 2 PhD. It's a nearest and dearest story. My dad passed in 2011, and I gave his watch to his closest friend, Keith, as a memory. Keith and I had an agreement that when he died, the watch would come back to me. Keith passed away in January. My condolences, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Said I contacted the family, and they will not return the watch to say it's there, so I'll never see or hold my father's watch again.
Yeah,
Huh?
that
Really?
stings.
That hurts. Yeah.
Dude, that's
awful, because I know he talked about it in the episode of Talking Watches, right? It's the Campagnola watch, if I'm not mistaken. But man, Dr. Levin, like, Jesus.
That
Is
gets
there
you right in the
anything you
field.
can do? Is there
You
literally
need me to
like,
send some North Koreans over there? I got some north of the border.
I need to
Just
find
PM
out.
me, man. Wow, that sucks. Oh my god.
Man, that's a real kick in the nuts. That just kind of rained on my, like, oh.
I guess maybe they didn't know about the arrangement or the agreement he had with Keith.
Listen,
Or
Todd,
maybe they do, or they don't give a they don't give
let
a
us
shit.
know what your PayPal is in the box below, and let's set up a fundraiser. You need to get this watch back. What's their price? We want to. The community will have your back. We want you to get this watch back. Let us know, like Todd. This can't be the end of the story. There's got to be a story that how we can get your watch back. There's got to be a way.
I don't know. It just sounded like, Cars and Chrono is willing to send some angry North Koreans, and I've got some angry Middle Easterners.
And hey, I can wait at the runway.
And we have an escape plan.
SLC watch collector following up saying, yes, I have all of them. The Seiko Kinetic was the
Be right
first
back.
expensive watch I purchased after my first successful business. Man, that's awesome. That's so great to hear. Yeah, man, these stories, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Oh, that's what it's all about.
You know what was, just to add a little bit, it wasn't like I only had a budget for this Omega Moon watch. I could have bought a Submariner. I could have bought a hype piece if I really wanted to, but it wasn't the point because I knew that eventually that would come. But this particular watch was there now, which I was struggling to find. So it's like the accomplishment of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got the watch guy joining us saying, just logged in. You got the Dream Team panel. Wish you folks a good night. Need to hit the sack. Early workday tomorrow. No worries. Thank you very much for joining. Guys, I just want to say, please hit that like button, guys. We're at 80 likes. Let's try to get 100 before we finish off the stream tonight. Thank you very much all for joining. We got Von Crow saying, if there's a record of him saying that the watch would come back to you upon his death, you may have recourse. Yeah, that's the only recourse. But man, it's just awful. He said, I would pay the family whatever they wanted. I already offered. They rejected it flat out.
Well, that watch has some serious emotional attachment across the board then.
Right.
I mean, it's not that I don't feel for the family, but it's Dr. Levin's father's watch, right?
There's got to be some recourse they can take. There's got to be something he can do.
I think so. The thing about recourse, and I can't speak for Dr. Levin, but if it was me, right, if it requires recourse, it paints the memory.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost that the memory and the feel of the loss of it would be more pure to me than having to take up, escalate to get it back. That's just me. And I'd let go of certain things in my life that way, actually.
Citizen Campanolo. This is probably around $2,000, $2,500. This was an astronomical.
Oh, sorry. I'm playing this in the background because I want to pull it up for you guys. I think this is the watch, right? If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Levin, let me know in the chat. There's got to be a recourse for us to get this watch back. There's got to be something we can do, like people we can reach out to. Listen, let's pull some string. The community is well connected. You know what I'm saying? The community is definitely well connected. The watch guy is saying he upvoted. Thank you very much. Todd saying we can make them an offer they cannot refuse. That's what I'm saying. Let's band. The community is here for Dr. Levin. I think we can get this done. No question about it. There's got to be a Todd. Do you know my email? Here, email me. Let's try to get this done. We can 100% get this done. I'm not saying that we're going to harass them, but if that's what we got to do, you know what I'm saying? If we
no trolling. No trolling in Dr. Levin's name.
Todd said, top lawyer said, really no chance. We discussed it in depth. Offered 50 times what the watch value was. Family still said, nope, it's there.
Wow.
And they won't even appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean?
But on the other hand, then that watch is tied to their loved one that passed away, right? So it holds the equal value to them as if it I know what
they believe it holds equal value.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then forget emailing me. It's not like it can be of much help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Todd exhausted he has the means to figure stuff like. So anyway, being a little bit more upbeat, man. Do a little for Utah, a little Chet Baker in Paris.
Nice.
One of my favorites.
Kurt saying they probably appreciate it. They won't sell. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the. They're probably not watch guys. Let's be honest with one another. Not the way Todd would appreciate it. I mean, he spoke about it in his episode of Talking Watches, and he spoke of it's a chronograph, by the way. Just going back, circling back, man. Oh.
That one was for you, Todd. Yep, big Chet fan. Is the music too loud? Is it all right?
Yes, that was definitely. I just want to say that was definitely a joke, guys. I definitely did not mean us finding the family and harassing them. That was definitely. There's got to be some recourse. You know what I mean? Let's email. Like, we got to find who these people are, and then when we find them, we tell them, "Listen, man."
No.
I think we can move on from this, man.
Yeah, just move on. But yeah, I mean, listen.
Move on.
But yeah, I mean, circling back to this idea, right, of what makes watches important, right, and what's the story attached to them, and what gives them meaning. You want to give your take on that, Ali?
Yeah, for me, all my watches mean something to me at a point in time in life, right, or a topic. The Vermont, the C17 Vermont, nice. The C17 Vermont was a long period of my life. It's built and it reminds me of like the clumsy engineering elegance of a C17 because it just reminds me of it, and the Vermont is built that way too. I didn't even know, one of my earliest memories in the United States is a guy in Florida who it was a 1970 Mustang Mach 1, right? And the noise and everything it made, and me as a kid, like being allowed to sit in his lap as he revved that reservoir that I have. I didn't even know watches like that could evoke those memories existed. So I love that reservoir for that. And the reservoir and the Vermont are both well under $5,000, right? The AP has a geopolitical tie to me, right? The Vacheron has a historical tie to the rights of Englishmen, the Maltese Cross. It has a history that intersects with freedom and liberty and geopolitics in a way not dissimilar to the AP to me, right? So they all have those type of meanings to me, and I don't have that connection with. I mean, I love looking at Pateks. I love looking at Rolexes, but none of them have that sort of connection to me. I just can't. They just don't mean the same thing to me, right? So I have this kind of. I mean, I think I don't want to call them lowbrow because obviously, a reservoir and a Vermont are still expensive to most people, but we're talking $2,500 to $3,500 watches, right? And they mean every bit as much to me as the Vacheron or the Royal Oak because they just have that point in time for me. We were joking in the chat, like I remember being in C17s a lot, and the mouth guards and the unique experience and the noise and whatnot. So you can't replace that for me. And then my uncle's Rado, which was my first like non-swatch, right? That 1963-64 Rado. I'm finally going to send that one away to get restored. Right.
Yeah. That's probably the right thing to do. Why not put it in working condition,
Oh, it works. It still works.
Okay.
But that dial's beat up. There's little diamonds need to be reset. And Casio. I've just got something for Casio. My daughter has my original 5000. Right? She still has that. That thing's got to be I'm going to be 44 this year, so that's got to be I don't know, like 3 decades old.
Jesus. Yeah, that's old.
Yeah.
I mean, coming back to this, right? And thank you again, SLC. He still has his first Seiko, right? That commemorates like the original business, right? It's all watches that are connected to some point in our life, right? And there was something that drew us to buying that specific watch, right? Be it the design, be it the functionality, be it the history of the watch itself. There's something about it, right? And it connects that moment in life that we have. And I mean, it's true also about, what's his name? The watch guy. I was about to say his first name. I'm not going to do that mistake. The watch guy who also connects the watches to like special moments in his life when he does business deals, for example, or things like that. These were things that we're talking about over dinner. And yeah, I mean, listen, I think this is what really makes watches. There's got to be a story connected to the watches, but I will also say this, to a certain extent, like my Panerai, right, is my most prized possession of all my collection, right? And I just bought that on a whim, right? I said, you know what, this is the one I want. I'm going to buy this. And the stories I made with that watch as opposed to buying that watch with a story. So there's also something to be said that you can always just buy a watch and the stories will come with that watch, you know? And I make it a point that I take it to what I think is important life moments. I will always wear that watch, and I make it a point to wear that watch. Yeah. I think that's also, you know, something that's lost on a lot of people, you know? It's like you find that right watch at the right price, you know, the right opportunity. Sometimes it's good to just pull the trigger and just, you know, just make the memories with the watches.
Look what I have. This was my first watch when I was a teenager. And look, it's a chronograph, so it's a swatch. And I remember I got this when I was like 14, something like this.
So like 5 years ago.
No. It did cost me, I remember clearly, it was $169 or Swiss franc. And it was crazy to me. I was like 13 years old. I was like, holy shit, that's so much for a watch. But in the end, I had this for like 10 years, something like this. And look, it's still there.
Look at this. This is what it's all about. It's the stories. We're getting some great collector stories. We got CB saying, I have my sad watch that means the most when my grandfather passed, but my happy watch is my first Rolex, the Air King, I purchased after 4 hard years at the Citadel. Worked hard on a fishing boat for him. That's what it's all about. 4 years, you know what I mean? To grind and work towards that watch makes it all the more special.
Well, the Citadel is a very special kind of grind.
Right. Yeah. Not easy, that's for sure. Kurt saying, I have an Elgin pocket watch which was given to a family friend on the day of his birth in the 1930s. When the friend died, they meant to bury him with it, but they forgot, and I got it. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't know if anybody's superstitious at all, but that makes me a little superstitious.
I was a really little kid when one of my Uncle Mahmoud, he died back in Iran, and we had a service for him in the States. Nobody, right? I was really, really little, and I took it was a fossil Superman watch, and put it in the empty casket, right? Like, all sorts of strange memories. And I think a lot of people in this hobby have all sorts of strange memories, like their whole lives tied to wristwatches.
Yeah. Like Kevin O'Leary, right? He wants to get buried with his watches. What are our thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Bury.
You can't take this crap with you, man. All that's
Exactly.
That's a bunch of crap, you know.
Aiden asking, when will Marco come on the Perth Luxury? I was on his show yesterday. What do you mean, when will I come on? I go on his show regularly. Not all the time, but I go. Ultra Lux, established in 1991, it says, my hard work wasn't so bad, I guess, in retail, but COVID has made it exciting, you could say. Very busy at times. Yeah, I mean, listen. Hey, retail has gone.
I've got a question for Chrono, if I may.
Yep.
So I agree, don't baby your watches, right? You own the watch. The watch doesn't own you. I wear my watches to everything. But I have not decided if I'm going to send my watches in for service and a polish. Do you polish your watches or just leave them?
Never polish. All right, so but for me, so it might be, and I'm curious to get your perspective. The reason is, for me, like when I get the watches, I get it because it's not necessarily, and by the way, I have no issue with people that flip or sell. Like, I'm not one of those guys that hate flippers, right? I know there's a whole group out there that's really against that. To me, it's once you buy it, you could do whatever you want with it, right? But my philosophy around is I own it and I want to enjoy it. It's not the fact that I want to go out there and ding it on purpose. I'm just enjoying it. And if it gets dinged, it gets dinged, right? But again, the whole thing about polish is it takes a little bit off. And to me, it sounds a little bit cheesy. Like the scratches, it tells a story. Now, I don't remember what story every scratch tells. I mean, I think that's a little bit of a cliche, but you own it to enjoy it. I mean, I think the moment I start worrying about, hey, am I going out? Is it going to get nicked on a wall, on a door? That completely takes the enjoyment out of owning that watch. And I always go back to cars. If you're always worried about you're going to get scratched, you're going to get dinged up, somebody's going to, take a pipe to it, then you're always worrying. You're having dinner, you're worrying about it, right? You're going out with your watch, you're worried about it's going to get scratched. So,
yeah, I mean, so I have and I know you're not a AP guy, but I have the 15400 and the 5500, and the only thing keeping me back from keeping the 15400 over the 15500 is the fact that it was polished. And to me, it's no longer the same watch anymore. Like, I was impressed genuinely because the service center for AP is actually like 25 minutes away from me, right? I was impressed. It came back and it looked like a brand new watch, but that was the problem. It came back and it looked like a brand new watch.
It's no longer your watch.
Yeah, it wasn't my watch anymore, right? And it feels strange to me.
If you're gonna, I mean, the polishing aspect. I've sold watches before, and I've never polished it for the sake of getting more value. Because folks, particularly buyers, and when it comes to the dealers, they know, right? Like car deals, they know if you buff it up, they know what's really under the hood, right? So there's really no, again, this is just my personal opinion. There's no point to it. But I like the fact, exactly to your point, the fact that it has those little whatever scuffs or blemishes, it makes it feel like it's your own, like you own it, like you have the right to ding it up how you feel, and because of that, you have that choice to keep it as it is. Right?
Now, here's a funny side note related to that. So I'm not a multi-display guy, but my desk, I always have 2 or 3 laptops on it. I can actually tell which scratches on the laptop are from which watch.
That's interesting.
It's a little bit crazy, okay, but
well, because all the bracelets are so different, right? All the bracelets are so different.
Right.
Like I can actually tell which ones came from which watch. So,
gotcha. I mean, it's interesting conversation.
How do we highlight something? How do we highlight something to bring up? Can guests do that, or only you, Marco?
I can do it. Is there anything you want me to bring up? Yeah, I wanted to bring up what Todd wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but it's just a little different from the topic, right? But I just wanted to add, right? Like I spoke about, I have the tiniest scratch on the Bruce Wayne clasp. You know how I got it, guys? I was actually going to change my watches. It was the morning of my interview with Nico, Pride and Pinion, right? For Pride and Pinion. And I'd taken it off, and I had just placed it. And you know when you get that feeling like, oh, fuck, I just messed it up. You know what I mean? I just scratched it, and I put it down. Oh, so carefully, but I still like that little scratch, and it'll always remind me of that moment, that morning, right? Because I took it off to wear the pan, because I always wear the pan to important life moments, right? So it reminded me of that morning where I was like a little stressed, a big opportunity, right? And it connects to the fact that I got this watch through YouTube. I got the job interview through YouTube, right? It's like it just makes it even more special. It's just that scratch. I always have it to remember it by, and if I were to polish it out, it just wouldn't be my watch anymore. But let me pull this up. Todd says, if we divorce watches entirely from why they were created in the first place as miniaturized artwork, that's what I've been saying. I agree with you. They are definitely works of art, no question about it. Then watches and money exchange roles. Money becomes divine by being translated into these horological marvels, and watches become commonplace by simply being translated into money. Exactly. They become commodity. They essentially become commodities, right? They're assets that we buy and sell and trade.
I get what Todd's saying, and I completely align with that philosophy. All I'm saying is, at least for me personally, like when we think about gray market dealers and the purpose they serve, and to them, I think maybe they view it as watches equal some currency denomination, and they serve a role, and that's the role that they choose to serve, right? And that's fine for them, right? And this is where I get a little bit miffed with the whole watch community, right? The purists, where you're really looking at it, like you can't ever talk value. Like I remember like when I was on Tim Moss's group on Facebook, anytime anybody brought a value of watches, oh my God, you had people with pitchforks coming out. I'm like, honestly, tell me one person that doesn't really know the value of their piece. It's not necessarily going to flip it, but back in the mind, everybody knows the value, right? So,
Right.
you know, I think there's a little bit of hypocrisy when, you know, folks are this adamant against like understanding that, yeah, there is an inherent value and folks maybe make a living off it, and that's fine. It actually helps us. It provides liquidity, right, as well to get certain pieces.
No, 100%. And cars, full transparency. That is why I bought the sub, right? I mean, I wanted a first Rolex, something that I knew would not only retain value, but you know, more than likely would continue to increase in value. And I said, listen, it's a watch that I can wear, and eventually, you know, if I want to get rid of it, I'll probably end up, you know, better off than when I bought it. So there's no question. I think you can't, as much as I hate talking about watches as investments, right, or as commodities, you can separate the two. And as you said, I think you really aptly put it in the sense that while we may not view it as a commodity, everybody knows what the value of their collection. Come on,
and that's what makes it also special. I mean, anybody that says otherwise,
of course,
BS.
Right? You're not fooling anybody, right? So these, like, I'm totally with you. These like purists were like, oh, it's not about money. Like everyone to a certain extent. Listen, money might not be the only thing, but it is a thing and a very important thing for a lot of people. So, yeah, no question.
But I think going back to Todd's statement, I mean, that completely resonates because at the end of the day, like money is money, right? There's whatever. Everybody has a certain cash value, but yeah, to manifest and translate the value of currency into a work of art, I mean, there's something really special about that as well, right? So.
SLC bringing up a good point, saying my dad hated watches and would never wear a watch. He was given a watch for working with his company that is a 90s Belova yellow gold bracelet watch. Not my jam, but thankful he gave me the watch. Yeah, that's another idea, right?
Actually, go watch. What do you guys think?
Memories that you make with the watches, right? It's memories that store. It's a watch that stores memory from other people, right? From people that you get it from. Von Crow says, to me, it's enough to know that I could polish if I really wanted to. It helps me think of the scratches as marks.
Holy crap. So my wife's out. Can I show a photo?
Yeah, sure.
She's out with her buddies.
Rez, I'm with you. I definitely baby my watches as well, but you know.
You know who that is?
Oh shit, that's that guy.
Letterman? Is that Letterman?
Yeah,
Letterman. I would Letterman, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm with you guys, and she's out partying with the Hollywood fashionistas and entertainment industry.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I prefer this, guys. Just FYI.
Yeah. See, Kurt is from something that's a lot of people subscribe to, right? I can't justify my purchase without it maintaining value. And listen, that's okay. Listen, for some people, putting money right into a hobby that is as expensive as watches, there's nothing wrong with thinking about that component, right? I don't think there is. Like, sure, maybe should it be the first thing you think of? No, but it is an important thing. Yeah, AP says again, it's not about money if we're talking Seiko money, but Rolex money, yes, it kind of matters. Absolutely, yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, but it goes back to the comment I said earlier around like the piece I'm getting, right? It's definitely not anything that I'm going to be able to easily flip or sell if I ever wanted to, but it's like a passion piece, right? It's a lot of emotion and just about the hobby. So
I just want to get this super chat and come back to your question. Ultra Lux 1991 with a 3 pound saying it's not much. Just want to say thank you for the reach. Thank you, man. Any contribution is greatly appreciated. You don't obviously have to do that, but I certainly do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Tyler saying you really should turn on the computer and hang with it right now.
We have plenty of our own. No, we saw my wife. I absolutely love my wife, but everybody needs their own hobby and alone time, which is
right. Good. You need to Well, I mean, as long as she doesn't get upset, right? Because you're spending a lot of time with the community. So
well, if you notice, actually, I've it's very sparing that I come on live streams. It's more I'll chat occasionally, but yeah, she gave me she definitely did draw a little bit of a line.
So here's a good question. Thoughts on gold watches? What is people's opinion on gold watches? Let's go around the panel. Ollie, go ahead.
I've got nothing against gold watches. It is not my thing. I'm not. I all my jewelry is white gold, platinum, and steel watches. I'm just not a yellow gold person or a rose gold person. Just not my thing.
Okay.
And, I can appreciate gold. The two-tone stuff is not really for me, but for a dress watch, I can be persuaded. More of a steel guy.
Okay. Jesus?
Yeah, I like it. It doesn't bother me to pay a bit more for precious metal, especially as he said for dress watches.
Yeah. I think, listen, most dress watches belong in some sort of noble metal, right? Be it gold or platinum. What are my thoughts on gold watches? I mean, listen, it's not a genre that I'm particularly interested in. Full transparency. I like steel much more. Like if I would get the Chronographs, I would get it in steel, right? So like I prefer steel watches, but I certainly don't have anything against gold. I think gold is great. Definitely also when it comes to dress watch, I think they belong in gold. Like I think there's no question they should be in gold. In a press, I'm a purist or a traditionalist in that sense. Like they should be in gold. Steel is just not the metal that you should have.
Yeah, I think somebody made a comment. I'm not a big fan of two-tone either. You're either going to go all or not at all.
Yeah.
It's just something a little bit off about that.
It seems a little too. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's appropriate for somebody my age. That's the only way that I can describe it. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but me personally, it just seems I should be wearing this when perhaps maybe I'm a little older and wiser, right?
And you just reminded me too, and I don't know if this guy's viewing because I'm so. If you are, I do not remember your screen name. Somebody was asking me about the Daniel Cuban link. So mine's in white gold. And if the guys here chime in, and I'll show you more of it. But somebody on the streams keeps asking me to have it available on one of the streams, and I never do.
Okay, very cool. That's a pretty, like, I don't want to say muted, right? Because it is still a Cuban, but it's a very, like, it's not those like huge gaudy like pieces that you see these rappers wearing,
Yeah, it's a 7 mil.
Right. Very gold. Yeah.
Right.
Just want to get the super chat very quickly. We got Kurt saying Cars is like, yeah, David Letterman is cool, but have you ever met the watch cardinal? Dude is a Y-list celebrity. Guys, come on. I was hoping for at least a W-list celebrity. Come on. Y is a little harsh there.
The only thing also about gold is there's different golds, right? In terms of the watches, how they present themselves, like the Rolex yellow gold, the rose golds, even the Omega gold, and the various pink golds out there as well that the FP Journe use. So it actually it's very different. Like, and that's the one thing I don't like is the yellow gold from Rolex. It's like too yellow.
Yeah.
Right. Versus the subtle different nuances.
Between qualitative value and brute quantitative. Yeah, right. Exactly. I think we're making the same point, right? It shouldn't be the first thing that you think of, but it certainly can be an important thing. And it definitely is for a lot of people. Ultralux asking, on the flip side, do you like titanium? The problem with titanium, at least for me, was it doesn't have the luxury. When you put on a watch, right? And you're like, like that weight, right? That John Mayer referred to in that first episode of Talking Watches, like that luxurious heft that like, damn, this is good quality, That's the problem with titanium. I don't get that. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't prefer titanium pieces, but we can go around the panel for this.
I don't mind it. I have that snowflake, which is titanium. It's all right. I mean, as long as you know what you're wearing and what it's for. I mean, every watch has its purpose, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
I feel it's a little too light. Also, yeah, it comes back to this feeling. You know, once I got to try. It was the Octo Finissimo. Well, it was actually the one in both in titanium and ceramic. So in titanium, it was like I couldn't feel it, you know, and I guess many people like that, right? But then I got to try the Octo Finissimo in ceramic, and I mean, on the wrist, it felt like plastic. I was like, no, this is not possible. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure many people, you know, they love the fact that you don't feel it. It's like super light. It's just not my thing.
I have that I had that Seiko, the SOGA 01, their Beast Below diver, right? For a watch that big, I appreciate titanium. It still feels heavy. The finish on the Grand Seiko was astounding. It was the best titanium finish I've seen in person. I'm sure, you know, there's other ones, but it is not for me. And yeah, here you go, Dr. Levin. They actually, I do have the diamond smooth.
The lock. Nice.
Yeah, that doesn't come through well on this camera, but I do have a little bit of ice on this.
Nothing wrong with that. It's good to have fun. You know what I mean? You gotta have a bit of fun.
I figured if I was going to get a Cuban, I needed to have at least a little bit.
Right, at least a little bit. At least a little bit for sure, no question.
But titanium, yeah, going back to that question, titanium, after I got that watch, is impressive. As impressed as I was, it just wasn't for me.
Ooh, here's good. Von Kroll says, is there any DLC treated steel in the high-end watch market? Not for dress watches, obviously. DLC treated steel. Not that I know of. The only one that's higher is like the Cartier Santos that has the DLC treatment.
Oh, so that's the question, right? It's what's high-end in this case.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any high-end that usually use DLC.
All the Bremont triptych cases have DLC, right? But I would consider this a mid-range. I wouldn't consider this a high-end.
Yeah.
Isn't there Artisan de Genève who was completely DLC?
Oh, it's true. Yes, they do some DLC pieces. Yeah, that's interesting. Never thought of that, but yeah, fair enough. But I don't know of many like traditional watchmakers that will use DLC. But yeah, we got Michael Sugar asking. I have a question for the panel. How do you price watches by checking Chrono 24? Is the lowest priced listing the actual price?
Discount 10%. It depends on the region as well, but 10% rule of thumb.
Then you also have to take a look at the quality of the watch and its completion, box papers, everything. So grab 3 of your matching and then go from there.
See, here's the thing, right? I'm a bit of a skeptic on that. I think that Chrono 24 is a fair evaluator, right? Because you will get typically what the retailers will try to get for as a price. So yes, like discount like maybe 10 or 15%, and then you probably get your price. That's the idea. Like you would get the price if you tried to sell it like person to person, right? But selling it to a dealer is the route that most people go to. You'll probably get like a little bit, a little bit less. Todd says needs more ice. Von Krull saying above 10,000. I think the only one that I can think of is the Cartier and the Artisan de Genève that wristwatch Jesus pointed out. So yeah, these are the only ones though. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure you could find some crazy Romain Jérôme or something like this, but
yeah, but those don't count.
Nothing too interesting.
Yeah, those don't count. Todd's asking, what about a rainbow sapphire chain for the Sasquatch? Well, I would say, why not get an aftermarket rainbow sapphire watch? You know. Oh man, no, forget it.
I think he would. I think he would laugh at that ring that you found interesting. Yeah.
Oh yes, the horn. Do you have it with you?
Yeah.
Here, we could show him. So you want to talk a bit about the story of that?
Yeah. That center it's elk ivory, right, from a hunt. It's set in white gold with just, I think it's 0.6 carats of stones. But yeah, I can barely dress myself, Dr. Levin, so I do not claim to have any authority on style. I am quite the redneck. So those are the type of things I like.
I mean, listen, those are, but I like the story of so the horn or the what's it called, the stone and the actual.
Yeah, it's elk ivory from my first elk hunt,
which is pretty cool. I mean, I never thought of repurposing like an animal's, like an animal's body parts in that way, right? You turn it into jewelry, so to speak. I think that's really cool. Here's a question for you. It says, do you have a timestamp for when you were talking about reservoir watches and right time? I want to show Felix the owner when I see him next, but I can't remember what stream or when. Well, we could talk about it right now.
I'll find it, Aaron, and I'll email Monica. I'm trying to get Monica to join Tim Wright on his stream to actually talk about Right Time and the watches they offer, because I really love the Right Time family. But Aaron, I'll find that and I'll send it to Monica.
Just want to say goodnight to Quicker Than Drawing. Take care, my man. We're gonna probably wrap this up in about 15 minutes. I'm getting tired over here. My eyes are starting to droop. Any final questions that we want to get in? Any final questions? Please be free to get them in. I'd be happy to help you or answer anything. But yeah, it's been a pretty great evening talking watches as usual. Please be sure to upvote, everybody. We're almost there. We got 13 more upvotes, guys. Go. We can do it. But yeah, anything anybody wants to talk about in particular?
Who's into karaoke?
Oh, man. That would
One of our viewers is definitely into karaoke.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, I do karaoke.
I think we definitely, yeah. You're a zombie right now. I don't doubt it. Like, man, what are you doing awake, man? You're crazy. I mean,
it's interesting. I'm not gonna,
And people were giving him a lot of compliments earlier. They're well deserved. It's been a very interesting addition to the conversations. A lot. I mean, he just reaches over into that wooden bookshelf next to him and he just pulls out some serious timepieces.
Yeah, we had a conversation with Alex, and he told me I pulled out a Wostep book. Wostep is the watchmaking school. And he said he immediately had PTSD over this. Yeah, it's breakfast time. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what Marco's been eating over there. It's like either Girl Scout cookies or Ritz crackers. I can't.
Ooh.
Are those miniature rice cakes?
Cheddar.
They're miniature rice cakes. Because I can't eat chips, guys. I'm too fat. That's the problem. I'm trying to lose weight here. So, see, on the other hand,
see what time it is? That's the time.
It's, jeez, no, we can't. Hold on, let me hear.
Is that 6 a.m.?
6 a.m. Yes. Right. And you've been up with us 3 hours, so you basically we're here.
I did 3 hours with Tim before.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're gonna burn out very quickly. You gotta relax. You know what I mean? Slow down.
Maybe.
Oh, here we go. Kurt says, I lost 5 pounds on the COVID diet. That's what it's all about, guys. AP says, saying, did you get those at retail? I didn't get anything, guys. I didn't get anything. Cool Chris Callie says, another great stream with good insight and reflection. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I don't see any other questions, but I'll wrap it up on that note. I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank our watch Sasquatch, Ali Reza. Thank you for joining and showing off that very cool Vacheron. Congratulations again, my man, on the amazing watch. I want to thank, of course, Wings and Watches for joining.
Thank you so much.
And the Real Cars and Chrono on Instagram. We got the wristwatch Jesus. I want to thank Toyota Mo as well, who joined us to unbox.
And Bravo on his watch.
The Historiques 1942, the latest purchase. Congratulations on that, my man. Great watch, and thank you for having me, the person to be able to unbox it on my stream. Great honor and privilege, so thank you very much. I want to thank Burbing Heart as well, who joined us earlier. And I want to give
love to Stefano.
Oh, yes, prayers, of course, for Stefano. And I want to give a shout out to JJ, who said he would join me on the stream tonight, but that biker never joined us. So I'm calling you out, JJ. What the fuck, man? What the hell? No, I'm just kidding. Take care, everybody. Good night. Love you guys.
Take care, man.
And of course, you got to wear the watches, guys. This is what it's all about. It's the watches.